All right, what's going on? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to All Signs Tarot. What's up, Mags? What's up, Mountain Girl? Mountain Girl, there's no sound in the intro. I'm trying to work on changing the intro right now, but it's gonna take a little bit. Please excuse me, I just got out of the gym, so I'm a little sweaty and feeling a little gross. So forgive me. But it's great to see you guys. I hope that your week went really, really well. This weekend, like I stated on the last live, we are going to see today Venus squaring Neptune and Saturn. And so again, there could be some confusion or some fog or even deception. I hate to say that, right? But around love or money or maybe some boundaries of some sort, some kind of challenge in regards to money or relationships or even how we feel about ourselves. So we could run up on a little bit of a brick wall, so to speak. So just something to be prepared for. It doesn't last for very long, but it is something that we're likely feeling today, okay? Which is not fun for me, being that I am ruled by Venus. What's up, Alyssa? How you doing? But other than that, like I said, guys, welcome to All Signs. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently today. We're just going to do a past, present, future, just to kind of see where you've been, where you are right now, and where you're going. And then, of course, as per usual, I'm going to pull you some advice messages from the Oracle. If you guys want to book a super chat question this evening, you are more than welcome to head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. There are 2-card pulls, 6-card pulls, 9, 12-card pulls, depends on what you want. So if you go ahead and write that link, or if you download the Hipsy app, you'll be able to book a question and get your cards read on the live. If you book within the next 30 minutes or so, so before 7 p.m. EST, you will get 15% off your super chat question. Pretty old news. Violetta Alexis is where it's at. Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, Dominic, I need you to get with the program. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Kenneth? Happy Friday, baby. Okay. What did you guys get into this week? Anything fun? What's up, Sun Power? I've literally just been going back and forth between my parents' house trying to take care of their dog and my house to try to have a presence here. To be honest. The week that bad? What about everybody else? Yeah, I get it, but that was like years ago. You know what I'm saying? I think I changed it in like early 2023. Can you speak to the one-on-one Violet? We did have a question. Can you speak to the one-on-ones? We did have a question. Are you talking about the private one-on-one sessions? You mean like how they work? So yeah, you guys, for the people that don't normally book personal readings, okay, and like feel weird about it or whatever, I do offer private one-on-one sessions where you can either just text me or you can voice call me, and that's also on hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. So you can either do this spontaneously or you can do it like a booking. So, you know, I do private one-on-one sessions every Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can go on there and look at my schedule and you can book if you would like to do it that way, or you can just call in or text in or whatever and ask your question or shoot the shit or whatever the hell you want to do. And I will make myself available. So something to kind of think about there. If that's the question that you guys have, I hope that I answered it okay. But yeah, that's how it works. You literally just go on a Hipsy, you go to my page, it'll tell you my availability. You can either book ahead of time or you can just call or text spontaneously. It's just really that simple. And I kind of like the private one-on-ones a little bit better than like the pre-recorded personal readings. Although, of course, I offer those too on Hipsy and my website. But I like it because I feel like I can get to know my clients or I can get to know you guys a little bit more personal. You know what I mean? I don't know. It feels like there's more camaraderie there. So I actually prefer the one-on-one sessions. What's up, Alien? Have you done any modeling? Oh, Long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. Why? That's so random. Back when I was a baby, my mom put me into a contest for cutest baby and I won. And so my mom, well, I guess my mom won, but my mom ended up winning some money and like a free camera or something like that. And then when I got a little bit older, when I was like 14, my mom started getting me in these photo shoots. And then I went to a signing when I was 17 where I took these pictures with this company and it was in LA and we went to like some coliseum out there and people like would buy your pictures and you would sign it and then some people would know me from MySpace when I was 18 and so people would like come to that and like take pictures with me. It was really interesting. And then I did some runway when I was 18, 17, 18. I did some runway for, if I can say it correctly, La Jacinta Designs when I was like 17, and that was in San Francisco. But other than that, not really. Yeah, long, long, long time ago, baby. So that's it. Here for the you nowadays. Oh man, good times for who? I don't know, man. That wasn't my best. I was really broken. I was really broken back in those days. I was so fucked up. I was traumatized. What made you stop? What made me stop modeling? My upbringing was very um there was a lot of partying with how I grew up. And I didn't, and I don't want to say anything bad about my parents or anything. They did the best that they could with what they had. But I didn't have very much structure in my life. And so I didn't really have anybody like encouraging me that much or like pushing me. So I kind of just did what everyone else was doing. And I just ended up getting drunk really like at a very early age. And then I got into my a very abusive relationship at like 18, 19, and then like my life kind of went downhill from there. And then I didn't have much structure in my life growing up. It was just kind of like, yeah, wherever the wind was kind of taking me. So honestly, I was bummed at 16V. That's all exciting. I was in a band that was about to tour Japan, and when my mom found out, she said, "Get in the house." So I missed it all. What? Oh man. Probably the objectification. No, I mean, as a woman, you'll get objectified everywhere. It doesn't matter. You can be at the fucking grocery store buying eggs, you know? That doesn't bother me, you know? I mean, it does, of course, but it's like, it's so just like, okay, like, I don't know. That's everywhere. That's kind of everywhere. Being a Venus and Scorpio, I'm very used to that kind of used to that behavior. I would have definitely encouraged that. You could do it for sure. Oh, not now. No, definitely not. No. I have like acne scars and it's that was a long time ago. I think I'm 38. I'm good. I don't I don't feel like I need to go modeling or anything. But maybe if I got my skin fixed, I don't know, maybe then. So, with that being said, you guys with the questions tonight. Okay. With that being said, Um, once again, we are going to be doing past, present, and future. Okay. So we're going to see what you were doing in your past, what you were doing now, and what you're going to be doing. Then I'm going to pull advice messages. If you guys do want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during the stream, you can always head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. And if you book before 7 p.m. EST, you can get 15% off. Keep in mind that on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I do offer one-on-one private sessions where you can text or call me on hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. So something to think about there as well. Do you go live on TikTok also? No, I do not go live anywhere but here. My TikTok got hacked. I would assume by some incels that did not like my man hating content. So that got hacked and I just moved on. You know, I just moved on, honestly. So I was at like 100K there, but you know, you live and then you get mad and then you live again and then you get mad another time. So we're just I don't know. I just kind of moved on. All right, let's do this. So, you guys please let me know exactly what sign you would like to start out with. Whoever answers first gets first dibs. Let's see who's going to get them. Is it going to be Aries again? Thanks, Max. All right, Max said Leo. That's what we're doing. Let's do it. What's up, Luna? How you doing? All right, guys. So, let's do it. All right. Hello, Leo. I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at past, present, future, and then some advice for you guys. In the past, we have the Queen of Swords. Okay. In the present, we have the Magician reversed. The near future, we have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this Wheel of Fortune is happening in August. Maybe around when Virgo season starts. Okay. Let's see that Queen of Swords for the past. The Queen of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Judgment reversed. What is that Judgment reversed? The Seven of Cups reversed. Wow. This feels like a confrontation for some reason. Like, I do think that some of you were maybe trying to give advice of some sort, or you were being very generous with your time for another. But at the same time, it feels a bit more confrontational to me. And it feels like you were trying to give someone a reality check, not necessarily to be combative for no reason, but you were trying to get them to see something within themselves that they, or you feel like they were having a hard time doing. And I don't know if it really worked. This person may have misjudged your intentions or decided to shut you out, maybe. Or like, have you ever tried to make someone realize something, but it felt like the more that you tried to push or make someone realize something, the further in this metaphorical sleep they went? Do you know what I mean? Like, have you ever tried to explain something to someone and you just felt like they were dead asleep? Like they just wouldn't get it, they couldn't get it. Maybe it was because of ego, maybe something else, but that's kind of what it feels like. For some of you, you were giving some kind of financial advice, okay, for some of you, but somebody may have not really been listening to that. Give me more on that. What was the Queen of Swords intent here? The Queen of Pentacles. It could have been about money or business, or you could have been asking questions to a girlfriend, or you could have been asking questions to a partner about another woman for some of you. It almost feels like you were getting shut out by someone. And I don't know if that's like intentionally or it was just their ego. But I feel like that Queen of Swords is you. And I feel like in the past you had absorbed a lot of lessons from your prior experiences. you did become wiser, more intelligent, more stable, more grounded in one way or another, especially on like a mental level. But I feel like there's something here about you being met with some form of adversity because of it. It almost feels like someone didn't like you because of how you grew or how intelligent or wise you may have come off. It's almost like somebody didn't like that. I don't know. This feels very specific, but that's what it looks like. So you didn't have bad intentions. Why is that Judgment reversed? The Hermit. That's why. Leo, I think you've probably come a long way since this past situation, but even before then, I feel like you came a long way. And I think there was a lot that you tried to bring to someone else with good intentions, but it feels like it's almost as if you shifted this person's thinking into a dark night of the soul. Like, and I think we've all been through this. Like, have you ever heard something about yourself that was so true and like it was painful to listen to and you're like, ah, but it really like made you think and sit on it for a while and like you kind of never forgot it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you did that to someone else. So the Magician reverse for the present moment. Wow, the Three of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Cups. There's three queens on the table. Four queens equate to the Empress. Um, can I be honest with you? I don't want you to think that this is like some kind of woe is you moment or you're doomed, but I kind of feel like you're going to get to a place where you feel very alone or even like lonely in some way. And I think that is because you are evolving. And I think that these three queens on the table, I believe that this is you. You're literally one queen, the Queen of Wands, away from becoming that Empress. And I feel like it's probably going to cycle out some people in your life that aren't really meant to stay. Like for some of you, if you're really ready for love, okay, if you're ready for love and like you're single, for instance, it may be very hard for you to find a partner because of how much you've matured and how much you've grown. And people may project their self-doubt, Judgment reversed, Magician reversed, onto you because of that level of maturity. And I think that for some of you right now, you may feel like you and somebody else aren't really on the same page. And to me, I don't know if they're not necessarily on the same page. I don't even think they're on the same book. It feels like, why the Three of Pentacles reversed? Because of the truth. I feel like you guys are this walking transparent reality check for people sometimes. And I think that it's getting worse or like getting better. I don't know, you know. Well, let's see the near future here. The Wheel of the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, and the Four of Cups reversed. I think it's so funny that the cards did that because that's such Wheel of Fortune energy, right? It's like, let go and let God, whatever, right? Throw the cards on the table. And I kind of feel like that's the vibe for the near future for you. I think that you're getting a little bored It reminds me of that book. My friend gave it to me a long time years ago. It's called and I'm not saying you guys have a hella crazy IQ, high IQ or anything, but I remember reading a little bit about this book called The Price of Having a High IQ or something like that. And basically where it just felt like you were getting bored, right? Or that you couldn't really relate to people anymore, but maybe everyone can relate to you kind of thing. And I think you guys may start to find yourself in these environments where you feel like maybe you've hit the ceiling or you have outgrown certain people, places, things. And I think once again, it may feel a bit lonely, but I do think that you will come out of it. And I don't know, it just really feels like you're evolving. Can you tell me more about that Wheel of Fortune? The Five of Pentacles reversed, especially if it's been about money or like a scarcity mindset or something like that. You seem to be coming out of that. Or if it's been like, oh, I really don't want this person to leave. I'm afraid that someone will abandon me or whatever fears that you may have. I feel like because you're letting go of control in some way, shape, or form, your life is able to move forward. And for some of you, this is showing up as some kind of good karma or good luck. And it can come wrapped in a like financial costume. I don't know if that makes sense, but you could be having some good luck with money, I think. So really the only queen missing here is the Queen of Wands. And so I feel like this is about now that you've gotten to the Queen of Swords mode where you're like, okay, I've learned a lot of lessons. I'm running with that, right? You've gotten to this Queen of Pentacles mode where you're learning how to become more stable, take better care of yourself, the Queen of Cups mode. Maybe you guys are in love right now. I don't know, but you've maybe reached this level of emotional maturity and emotional intelligence and really in touch with your intuition. And now you're at a point where you need to hit the Queen of Wands as well. And what I mean by that is embody that energy of I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I'm just going to own my shadow. I'm going to own my past, my present, my future, right? Pun intended. And take the lead in your life in the way that you see fit. Believe in the impossible. Listen, you know, conjunction. So a conjunction in astrology is essentially where two planets are kind of, let's call it holding hands, okay? And it can go one way or another. But I feel like when it comes to your wildest dreams, like if you could, if you wanted something, right? And God or the universe said, this is absolutely possible, like go for it. Like how hard or how high would you climb? And I want you to do that because you might get more than what you bargained for in the best way, but you have to believe it, especially if you're having some doubts. But I think that it would be other people projecting their own personal doubts onto you and you absorbing those. Don't do that. So, Leo, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis, and you can book with me there. If you book before 7 p.m. EST, then you can get 15% off your question. Have a great weekend. Mm. Oof, so sweaty. What's up, Tyler? Hi, Codis. How are you? What's up, Sean? Here comes the fucking Virgos. Okay, okay. What's up with the Virgo hate? I mean, I get it. Okay. So, speaking of Virgos, let's go ahead and take a look. If I can find it. There we go. All right. Hi, Virgo. I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on for you, past, present, future. Then, of course, we're going to pull some advice messages. Past, Knight of Cups. Okay. Present, Page of Wands. Okay. Future. Wah, wah. No, I'm just kidding. Seven of Swords reversed. Okay. Well, let's see that Knight of Cups. Why does it feel like the Knight of Pentacles and not the Knight of Cups? Like it feels like something was moving so slowly or not progressing maybe as fast as you would have liked. What is that Page of Pentacles reversed? The Five of Wands. So the Knight of Cups, the Hierophant reversed, and the Page of Pentacles reversed. Now, this could have been somebody approaching you in the past. Yes, in regards to love, of course. Somebody who is being quite vulnerable, attempting to sweep you off your feet in one way or another. But that Hierophant tells me a different story. It tells me that maybe there was a difference in religious or spiritual beliefs between the two of you. Or maybe the Hierophant reverse was just simply that there was something non-traditional about this connection. Maybe it was like, what is it called? Polyamory, or maybe it was just a difference in values. Maybe it was something a lot deeper than that. But I feel like there was a lot of stubbornness in regards to this connection and potential manipulation as well, which could have caused a lot of drama. I'm definitely feeling like somebody maybe didn't put in the effort that they should have with the Page of Pentacles reversed. And the Page of Pentacles reversed can talk about somebody who is a little immature, okay? And maybe this was you, okay? I don't know. I don't want to read it like a crosswatcher read, okay? But you know who you are. So this could have caused a lot of drama, and because there was a lot of love here, a lot of feelings, it may have been very hard to resist this or let go of this. So you could have stubbornly held on, or just tried to make it work despite the drama, despite the conflict, despite the arguments. And to be honest with you, a lot of it seemed quite petty with the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is more annoying. It's not like, oh, it's really a brawl out fight, and I got to go get some, a new dental plan tomorrow because somebody knocked my teeth out kind of fight. No, it's just like everyone's trying to be heard, but nobody's really trying to listen. Tell me about that Hierophant reversed. The Two of Wands reversed. Yeah, it's like stuck. It's like constantly being on the fence, never quite moving forward, not necessarily moving backward. It's just like this. And it just feels like a relationship that really couldn't evolve or get off the ground. I mean, action was being taken, but it almost feels as though it's 3 steps forwards, 2 steps backwards kind of thing. I feel like this was like, I'm looking at this Hierophant reversed, right? And this Two of Wands reversed. And with that Knight of Cups there, it makes me feel as a tarot reader that that's love. Okay. So it makes me feel like you have two people here who are really not willing to budge, really not willing to budge or come outside of their comfort zone when it comes to their beliefs or their viewpoints or whatever it is. It almost feels like there was somebody here who was rejecting some kind of information because it didn't fit the narrative that they had set up for themselves. Does that make sense? But there's love. There was love, there was romance, there was affection, but there was also drama, fights, and a lot of stubbornness. Where you are right now is the Page of Wands. with the Four of Swords reversed and the Lovers. What's going on, buddy? Okay. What's the intention here with that Page of Wands? The Tower reversed. Virgo. Okay. Well, I'm not super mad at it because the Lovers is here. That Page of Wands, clarified by the Tower reversed, you can be seeking out how to keep something afloat that you feel like might shatter or kind of burn down or crumble apart. And it doesn't feel bad. It feels, to be honest, healing. It feels like you are trying to make a higher self decision. You seem to be quite open-minded and maybe not 100% confident in regards to what it is that you're trying to save or pursue, but you'll get there. That's kind of like the Page of Wands. You could be in the midst of starting a creative project, for instance. Maybe you're trying to do something new in order to keep something afloat, right? Maybe you're trying to reinvent your job or your career in some way to try to keep your money afloat, right? It can be something like that. Or maybe it's that you're trying to save a relationship right now. I mean, the Lovers is a gorgeous card. And I'm really surprised to see it, honestly, because of that Hierophant reversed, because the Hierophant comes before the Lovers. So when the Hierophant is reversed, it's like, okay, we can't get along. We can't get on the same page. We have a difference in religious or spiritual beliefs. There's something weird about this, or there's something off about this. Page of Pentacles in reverse. The effort isn't really being put in. There's a whole bunch of manipulation, but now this energy is totally different. This is where we have all of that situated and we're essentially moving forward. And so, maybe it was that you were trying to learn something and, now you're on the next level of maybe you're now teaching that thing or something like that. So it seems as though you're trying to keep something afloat. Tell me about that, Lovers. The King of Cups. If that King of Cups is not you, somebody loves the shit out of you. So that is good. So I like it because we're going from a Knight of Cups to a King of Cups. So it seems like somebody's in love with you or somebody really loves you, or if this hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen maybe. But this is the present moment. And so if it's not love, then motherfucker, you're going to therapy, right? Or maybe it's just that you're seeking out your ideal relationship. That could be it as well. Because maybe you got to a point where you're like, fuck, I'm just going to give up on love. Fuck it. I don't care. You know what I mean? And now maybe you're seeking it out. But whatever it is, it's really beautiful, honestly. It really is. And that's gorgeous. So in the near future, we have the Seven of Swords reversed. Tell me about that Seven of Swords reversed. Ooh, the Queen of Wands reversed. The Death reversed. Is Virgo the Seven of Swords reversed? No. So you may be getting a confession, or like somebody may have a guilty conscience about something. You may hear the truth from a woman from the past, or a woman who has information about the past. This woman may be very jealous of you. If that Queen of Wands reversed is you, then I feel, because it said that Seven of Swords reverse is not you. So that means that you're receiving a truth from another and it's creating the Queen of Wands reverse, which would mean it's pissing you the fuck off. What is that Seven of Swords reversed? Ace of Wands. It could be around intimacy or sex or uh, some kind of pursuit that occurred. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Give me more on that Seven of Swords reverse. The Strength reverse. Somebody did something out of weakness. Ooh, I don't like that. Give me one more on that Seven of Swords reverse. Nine of Cups reverse. Somebody did something selfishly. I feel like somebody acted maybe on impulse or did something selfishly or did something out of a moment of weakness. I'm not saying like your spouse fucks somebody, okay? I mean, like, you know, maybe in extreme cases, but it does feel like somebody here made a decision out of weakness. And I don't know if this is actually a partner. It can be that this is somebody who like did something behind your back because they're jealous of you, you know, and then like you hear about it like a friend. Okay, they could have had a moment of weakness because of some kind of jealousy issue, so that could be it as well. So just, you know, little warning, right? Let's see what your advice is, Virgo. The answers you need are coming, I'll say. And then Virgo, oh boy. Well, what answers does Virgo need? The moon reverse, something that's been hidden or suppressed for a while, can be around a Pisces or it can be around a Virgo, or something in regards to something emotional, or maybe something around a mother figure as well. So, you know, keep it cool, Virg. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it cool. What are you asking Virgo to do? The Three of Cups. Okay. Socialize, get out there, make friends, come together with people, have sweet, loving, emotional conversations, you know. Venus is in Cancer, great time to do it. But yeah, so I feel like you might hear something from the grapevine. So something to keep in mind. So, Virgo, that is what I have for you. Obviously, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Virgo, and I hope that you guys have a great weekend. And if you guys have not, make sure you hit the little bell notification so that way you guys always get notified every time I go live or post something. Alrighty, now let me do Vanessa. What's up, Infinite? Oh, my ladies are here. Hello, ladies. Where the hell is Mojo? Mojo! Mojo! Where out thou, Mojo? Oh, God, I am such a dork. Ew. Okay, moving on to moving on to Libra. Hello, Libra. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what may be happening for you. No, past, present, and future. I forgot what reading we're doing. For some reason, I thought we were doing what's coming towards you. So let's see past, present, and future for you, and then we're going to pull some from the Oracle, okay? The Justice reversed. That's your card for the past. The Knight of Swords for the present. Near future is the Two of Pentacles reversed. I feel like you're going to have to drop something because it's too much, honestly. because it's like not enough. I don't know how to explain that. So for the Justice reversed for the past, we have the Page of Cups and the Star. Why is the Justice reversed? The Four of Pentacles. I feel like you were very uncertain on whether or not you wanted to open up to someone. You may have held back in regards to a decision involving creativity, or I heard your higher self. Okay. Your higher self, or your dreams, your goals, your wishes, the things that you really wanted to accomplish. I feel like there were a lot of things that you wanted to do, but for some of you, you may have felt as though you didn't have the money or your finances were imbalanced. But I feel like you dreamt anyway, or you sought out what you wanted anyway, even if you didn't have the money together. Tell me more about that Justice reversed. The Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, it was the money. Something about money, something about finances. Maybe you were trying to save because you feel like your finances were not balanced, but there was something new that you were starting. And I feel like it was maybe something that was quite creative, or maybe it was something that had to do with maybe putting poetry out there or music out there into social media, or some kind of maybe content creation. Because the star is Aquarius. When I think of Aquarius, I think about an audience. I think about people. I think about different people. I think about your goals, your wishes, your hopes, your dreams, because it has a correlation to the 11th house. So even though you may have felt a little inhibited, maybe, or held back because of money, I still feel like you showed up in some way. And sometimes that's what we have to do, you know? And I feel like you were thinking outside of the box on how to succeed with something, because you were definitely thinking long term in regards to whatever this is. Now, for others of you, you could have not really been certain about a love interest or somebody new that came into your life, but this person could have ended up being incredibly healing for you and may have instilled a lot of hope in you. But once again, I think that maybe you guys were like fucking traumatized by your past relationship or relationships or marriage or something like that. And so you were probably very held back. Tell me about that star, the Nine of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you had your guard up. It's almost like somebody trying to love you, love you, love you, and you just kind of like rejecting them or pulling them away, pushing them away, excuse me. And you may have been very guarded around the things that you were going to share with this person. But I feel like this, whoever this is from the past, admires you. I feel, this is going to sound so fucking corny, okay? But I feel like when they see you, they see a star quality in you, or like somebody who is kind of a star in some way, shape, or form. Like maybe you just have that charisma, or maybe you have a lot of talents or something like that. But there was a great indecision around this. Maybe you weren't sure if you could really see this long term. For others of you, this could have been healing something with a child as well. Wow, what is going on here? The Knight of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. This is like very quick movement. You're going somewhere. There's some kind of level of recognition that you're either getting right now, or you're in the public eye, or it's that you're trying to figure out how to have some kind of level of success with what it is that you're pursuing. But I'm wondering if this Two of Pentacles reverse for the near future is you're going to have to end up dropping something in order to have this. What's the intention with that Six of Wands? The Knight of Wands. Woo, this is very, woo, you are like, okay. You are like, well, you know what? I mean, Libra, to be honest with you, this makes a lot of sense for me because Mars is going to enter your sign on August 6th. So when Mars enters your sign, it can really get you to be very passionate about what you say and what you want. It can, like, for instance, if Mars is entering your first house, Mars loves being in the first house. If Mars enters your first house, this can be where you're like working out more, you know, you're pursuing things that are going to help you develop a better sense of physical appearance. You know, if Mars is traveling through Libra in your fifth house, this is where you can kind of really shine and you can be more outspoken and, you know, expressing yourself in a very passionate way, going after the things that you want, taking these risks, right? So it depends on where Libra is in your chart, but I feel like when that Mars hits, it goes into Libra, I feel like this is really when it's going to, like, you're just going to come unglued in the best way. Some of you could be deciding to travel, but I feel like a lot of you guys are getting recognized for something that you're saying or your opinion or your education or just the way that you express yourself or something that you know maybe. And I don't feel like this has been an easy path. Tell me about that Eight of Wands. Five of Swords. You are not fucking around. What are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you going? You are very determined to like speak your mind and go after the things that you want. To be honest, I kind of like it. It's kind of hot. Like, damn, I wish a motherfucker would pursue me like this. Where's your grit? You know what I'm saying? That looks great though. Like, I feel like whatever you guys are going to go after in the month of August, I feel like you're probably going to succeed at it. Oh no. Oh no. There's a leech in your house. Two of Pentacles reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed, the Six of Swords reversed. So if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know how much I love the King of Pentacles reversed. Choke and die gross. So I feel like if this is not you, okay, if you are not this King of Pentacles reversed, I feel like this is a masculine person coming back into your life in the near future. And I feel like this person is going to try to pull the veil over you, or is going to try to fool you, or is going to try to trick you. Because you seem to be winning at life. Okay. And I feel like this person wants a piece of that. And they're going to make your life a hell of a lot harder. They're going to make you take all the responsibility or like pay all the bills. You know, they're like, oh, hey, like you want to go out? And you're like, oh my God, yeah. And like they take you out and they like give you the bill. It's like, I'm sorry, what? You know what I mean? Maybe it's not necessarily that, but I feel like you're going to have to drop kick this bitch. You know, I don't know. Just my opinion. So let's get you some advice. You are good enough. That's something that you're going to need to remember when this King of Pentacles reverse comes in. And then house 4. Some of you guys may be moving soon, okay? Or there can be like maybe some old childhood issues where like a mother figure or the more nurturing parent maybe have made you feel less than good enough or made you feel some kind of way like in regards to your self-esteem. And I feel like this is a reminder that you are good enough. You deserve love. You deserve happiness. You don't have to try so hard to be loved or to receive love. I feel like you just are love. I know that's fucking corny. I know it is. But this is also about, you know, having a strong foundation because house 4 is like the foundation of your chart. It's like You know, it's at the bottom of your chart, right? Where like the 10th house is at the top of your chart, so to speak. Okay. And so it's kind of like it's almost like what holds it all together, in my opinion. And so I feel like it's important for you to have strong emotionals to anybody, but it's important for you specifically to have a strong sense of emotional stability, a strong home foundation, strong family around you, protecting your emotions, things like that. And not letting any King of Pentacles reverse make you feel like you have to try extra hard to love them, or it like it reminds me of this girl, like somebody had made a post and they're like, come on girls, like drop your selfies or whatever, right? And like, so these women, they like just drop their selfies or whatever, they all were fucking gorgeous, and like guys were just in the comments like commenting on their pictures like, huh, mid, gross, never, too fat. And it's like, well, a lot of them do that just so that way you're willing to lower your standards to date them instead of just them evolving, right? And not all men do that, but I'm just saying that that's what that reminds me of. And you may get somebody like that. It's like, oh, mid, lay off the cheeseburger, right? Where while he has like, he's jerking off with Cheeto dust in his mom's basement. It's like, go fuck yourself, right? So it can be something like that. So just something something to kind of think about, Libra. But that is what I have for you. Thank you so much, Libra. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis and you can book with me there. What's up, Scott? Hi. No, we're doing Scorpio right now. What's up, James? What's up, Victor? All righty. Right, Mars? Okay, with a name like that, I knew that you'd agree. Okay, let's move on to Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. I hope that you guys are doing really, really well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on for you, or what was past, present, and future, and then we'll pull some oracle cards, okay? So, past, okay, some of you were or are dealing with a Capricorn, or maybe you have Capricorn placements. The Devil, current, Three of Wands reversed. Just in limbo is the vibe. Hangman reverse for the future. Why am I getting like a little tiny undercurrent of sadness? I heard the delusion is wearing off. Okay. Let's see that devil. Oh boy. Oh, what happened with you guys? The devil, the Page of Swords reversed, and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I feel like you guys might have drove yourselves crazy a little bit. I think that there was something you were attached to, or maybe it was someone. It could have been an addiction, a fear, something that was holding you back, something that instilled fear into you, or it could have been a negative coping mechanism. And whatever it was, it's very much wrapped around, or was very much wrapped around, how you think, or the assumptions that you make about yourself, about others, about the world. And really, it just comes from, I feel like it comes from anxiety and a lack of information. And so that's what happens, right? Especially if we as people, if we have been through a lot of traumatic experiences or traumatic events, and we can become very hyper vigilant. in regards to our current circumstances, right? And so we kind of notice everything. And so it's because we're trying to gather as much information as possible to fill in the blanks. So when we feel like we can't fill in a blank, we will create a story to fill in that blank. And it's an interesting psychological coping mechanism on how to deal with the unknown, on how to deal with anxiety. And so what happens is sometimes we can create our own narratives. And then what happens? Well, we end up, maybe slacking on our work, slacking on our routine, slacking on our workouts. Maybe we end up missing opportunities because of it, right? Because of maybe paranoia or, trying to fill in the blank spaces. So like for this, for instance, right? Maybe this is just a stupid example, but let's say that you had been talking to someone for a few months and you texted them and they didn't reply for 3 hours. Well, now your brain, because maybe some of you are traumatized like me, okay, but maybe your brain tried to start to fill in the spaces, and now what happens is you block them and you tell them to fuck off, and whatever, right? Whatever. Maybe it wasn't that unstable. Maybe you just cut them off, right? Whatever. But then like actually none of that was happening, and it could have been something else entirely. Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong about everything, not by any means, but there was definitely something. Let's see what that devil is. The 10 of Cups. It was definitely something emotional. You could have had a very specific idea of what a relationship looks like to you, okay? And that kind of could have put you in a box, or perhaps it was something tied to your family or your lineage or your ancestry, maybe, but maybe something that felt very unresolved in regards to a family matter or a parental matter that has caused these things to occur. Maybe something in regards to a child. Or tell me about that Page of Swords reversed. There could have been like a codependency of some sort, or not feeling good enough for something, so not even trying. Mm. 3 of Wands reversed for the current. The Sun reversed. The King of Swords reversed. Tell me about that King of Swords reversed. 4 of Wands reversed. For some of you, you're in a weird situation with, for some of you, you're in a weird situation with a man in your life. Doesn't have to be romantic. It can be anybody. It can be your family, somebody who you may feel like doesn't pay attention to you, or it almost feels like somebody who purposely doesn't pay attention to you to intentionally make you feel unwelcomed or insecure. And it may be working. Okay, you may have had different expectations, or you may have been more optimistic and you felt like you got let down, and but yet you're still optimistic. For others of you, if okay, you may have had certain expectations for something or someone, but it may not be showing up in the way that you'd like. And so now you're kind of getting in your ego or your pride a little bit, and you're kind of telling yourself a story in order to make yourself feel better, to be honest. Okay. For some of you, that can be it. What is this about? The 9 of Swords reverse? Some kind of mental health thing or anxiety? I feel like some of you guys internalize or take personally other people's actions. Like you internalize it and you kind of like make it about you. Like for instance, right? Just a simple example, like, oh, well, this person didn't respond to me, or this person didn't want to be in a relationship with me. So that reflects on my value as a person. And it just really doesn't, you know? What you may experience in the near future here, the Hangman reversed with the Eight of Cups reversed, and then the World. Wow. What is the World? The Six of Cups reversed. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, there's something about like family or childhood here. And you could have felt yourself going back and forth between what is real and what your perspective is. What's that? Eight of Cups reversed. And you guys could have been disempowering yourselves, and especially with that devil in the past, you guys could have been disempowering yourselves, and you guys may in the near future continuously do that, like where you keep going back to things that are a total illusion, that aren't really going anywhere, that don't give you any clarity. And then you'll be forced to really empower yourself and understand that the reason why you were doing that is because of your childhood, or because of your past, or because of the weights that you carry in your fucking backpack that you don't need to, that you just don't need to. It doesn't need to be yours to carry anymore. Give it to Jesus. I'm just kidding. You know? Nothing is yet set in stone. Like it doesn't have to be, if this is your reading, like it doesn't have to be this way. And then Pisces. Well, that's kind of the Hangman energy right there. But this is about trying to go with the flow and not placing certain expectations on people, places, things, on the end of the world, on who or what you're supposed to become. You're supposed to become many things, and you're supposed to live many different lives, and you're supposed to evolve, and you're supposed to go backwards, and you're supposed to fuck up, and you're supposed to accomplish, and you're supposed to do better, and then you're supposed to do worse. And like that's just how it goes. But you do have control over a lot of what happens in your life. And it's really based on your reactions and your decisions, and the choices that you make at the end of the day. And I feel like this Pisces energy here is asking you to have some compassion for yourself, to listen to your intuition when making these decisions, and to allow for more intimacy, maybe with others, but more so with yourself, where you can be totally honest and naked, so to speak. So, Scorpio, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Best of luck. If you guys have not, make sure you hit the little notification bell down there and turn on all notifications for my channel. So that way you guys can get notified when I go live or when I post. All right, so let's move on to Sagittarius. All right, what is going on, Sagittarius? I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at past, present, and future. The Eight of Swords reversed for the past. Excuse me. The Chariot reversed for current. And then the Seven of Wands for the near future. Okay. I feel like you're going to surprise yourself, Sagittarius. Okay. Well, there you are, showing up as your high vibrational self. What was that Eight of Swords reversed? The Seven of Pentacles. So there was something that maybe you were invested in the past. Maybe it was in the recent past, maybe in the far past, but you were invested. But I feel like you were one foot in, one foot out, because you weren't just invested in one person, place, or thing. You may have had your foot in another pool, so to speak. And I feel like you came out of that. You decided to go with something fresh or new, or you decided to focus on a new path. And I feel like it was something that brought more balance into your life, something that maybe felt a bit more peaceful. um like for instance, maybe it was that you were, I don't know, maybe you were trying to figure out what kind of career you wanted, and maybe you were stuck on that for a while, and you're like, you know what, I'm not really that stuck. I just need to go with what is truly for me. This is your honest. This is about being your most authentic self. This is about something that is different, change. And so I don't think that you went with necessarily the tried and the true. I think that you went with something different. I think that you went with the unknown a little bit, and it may have been a little bit scary, or it may have been a little like, oh God, also maybe exciting. But I feel like it kind of worked out. Like something here worked out with that temperance there. Tell me about that temperance. The Two of Swords reversed. It was a definitive decision. It may have been something that you have avoided for a while, but it was basically you choosing you and what you wanted on an emotional level or whatever, even if it was like a career path. But I feel like it balanced you out. Like I truly believe that this was the higher self decision. I really do. Especially because that temperance is you. Tell me about that Fool. The King of Wands reversed. Some of you either broke free from an egocentric way of looking at things, and you may have been holding on to one path because it was tied to your ego, but you may have switched lanes and gone with what is truly you, what is truly authentically you. For others of you, you broke free from an egoic masculine figure in your life. I heard, yeah, fuck that. Okay. I feel like that's so Sagittarius. Okay. Well, in the present, we have the Chariot reversed, the Two of Cups, and then the Five of Cups. Something from the past still haunts you. And you still have emotional ties to it with that Two of Cups. And I don't know if there's a person that's presently in your life, but you sure do think about it a lot. Why is the Chariot reversed? The Knight of Pentacles reversed. It's just not moving forward. And there's a fear around this connection specifically, or even a fear of getting involved with someone again. What's that Five of Cups? The Ten of Swords reversed. Ooh. There's a betrayal that you have definitely not overcome quite yet. It's still kind of hanging tough in your energy. It's still hanging there. And I do think that you think about it probably maybe a little bit more often than you'd like to admit. And I'm almost getting like shame. Like you may still have a romantic attachment or a love towards whatever this thing was, despite how shitty they treated you or how shitty you treated them, or there's still a connection. It almost feels like you're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Like the Chariot can sometimes be where we're just out of control, we're losing control, we're kind of just all over the place. And the Knight of Pentacles reverse, clarifying that it, it makes me feel like it's either coming from a very stubborn place, or you're being overly critical of yourself, which is basically hindering your progress. Okay. Near future, the Seven of Wands, the High Priestess. Wow, holy shambles. This is the divine feminine. Ooh. If you are a woman, wow, congratulations. Some of you are pregnant. Some of you are going to get pregnant. For others of you, I mean, Jesus. If you're single or something like that, there could be a lot of people who are trying to compete to obtain you, get you. You have to understand that the high priestess is the very desirable woman. She's incredibly desirable. She's sexy. She's mysterious. Sometimes it can be the tarot reader, okay? But mixed with that empress, it's like a very high vibrational feminine being who has copious amounts of potential to be able to create whatever it is that she wants to create. And who the fuck wouldn't fight for someone like that? And I feel like some of you, if it's not about people necessarily competing for you, and it's not necessarily about you getting pregnant, it can be that there was something that you had some level of success in, and now you are maintaining that level of success. You are maintaining your workout routine. You're maintaining your position at work. You are maintaining your sense of personal power. This is like really hot. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I see the high priestess and the empress, I'm like, okay, somebody called Jesus Christ himself, because that is the only person that deserves this person. Like, like, please, no human being on this earth deserves the high priestess mixed with the empress. I'm sorry. Not even me. Adjustments are required. Okay. And fixed. What adjustments? The Ace of Cups. This can be about needing to adjust self-love, something about your creativity, the kind of love that you're willing to offer, or the kind of love that you're willing to accept. And it may be that either you are too mutable in your thinking, like maybe you are like a little too forgiving, or you're a little too oh, it's okay, like no big deal, but they do it over and over and over again, you know, or maybe you're too stubborn, maybe you're too fixed, where you know, maybe somebody you know, maybe you're really really hard on somebody, maybe it's yourself, you know, maybe you need to let up, but there's something that needs to adjust, or something that needs to change in regards to love or creativity or self-love, something like that. Okay. So, Saji, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Also, if you guys have not, make sure that you push the little notification bell right down here, so that way you guys can always get notified when I go live or when I post. What's up, Tom? All right, let's go ahead and hold on one sec. Oh, Scott, you're welcome. Thank you, Complexity. What's up, Nora? All right, let's go ahead and move on to Capricorn. Right, Infinite? I'm like claiming my one little placement right now. Saturn and Uranus and Sagittarius. Like, no. All right, Capricorn. Hi, I hope you guys are doing excellent. Let's go ahead and take a look at your past, present, and future. Recent past, Five of Wands reversed. Okay, not the worst thing in the world. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune for present. Okay. Near future, Knight of Pentacles reversed. That's interesting. Kind of didn't expect that Knight of Pentacles reversed with that Wheel of Fortune there. Okay, let's see that Five of Wands. Ooh, absolutely 10 out of 10. Some of you got a new car or got your car fixed or maybe sold one. What's that Five of Wands reversed about? The Tower reversed. I feel like something almost kind of shit the bed here. Okay. There may have been some kind of conflict or drama. Something may have ended up worse than it actually ended up. And it could be because you decided to try to make peace with something, either inside yourself or with another. And I feel like you maybe avoided some kind of tower moment here, and you may have ended up getting what it is that you truly want and felt more encouraged because of that. What's that Nine of Cups? The Hermit. Oof. This is very strong when it comes to personal identity and a sense of self-awareness and wisdom and your own personal journey. And I say that because the nines are about individuality, right? It's Jupiter and Pisces, and then we have the Hermit, which is about the self-awareness journey. It can sometimes be the dark night of the soul, but because you maybe went through something, because you went through something complicated, because you had maybe a dark night of the soul, or you learned one too many lessons all at the same time, right? Whatever it is, you actually ended up gaining something that you truly desired because of it. Some of you ended up gaining a Virgo in your life, and that's what you wanted, okay? Because this can be Virgo, okay? So for some of you, that's what it is. Or maybe it's a Cancer with that Chariot there. Nonetheless, it looks like maybe you made peace with yourself or with someone, and that Chariot there shows me that because of that, you were more encouraged to go after the things that you want. You had some kind of victory. But it feels very individually important to you. Tell me about that Chariot. The Knight of Swords reversed. Some of y'all just won a damn argument. Not Capricorns, no. Some of you, it may have been that where you kind of felt the need to take like sit in the passenger seat of your life or become the passenger of your own life. I feel like you started taking the lead, and it may be because you did some really very strong healing work, maybe behind the scenes. And I don't feel like it was easy. Like, I feel like this was fucking earned, quite frankly. Like, whatever this is, it was earned. You learned a lot about yourself, and it made you more powerful in one way or another, especially emotionally. Wow. Wow. And then the moon comes out as soon as I say that. Wow, a Capricorn. Shit. I know I'm claiming my Mars in Capricorn right now. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, the moon, and the Temperance. Read them and weep. What would they call that in poker? A royal flush? I don't know. So you are at this place now of being wiser. I feel like you guys have these little tidbits of good karma just kind of rolling in. I think that you are a lot more emotionally mature. I feel like you're more emotionally balanced. I think that you can handle your emotions far better than you ever could. And it feels like there's some kind of good karma happening for you that is going to make you emotionally very happy. Can you tell me about that Wheel of Fortune? The devil. Ooh, some of you are getting laid. Just kidding. The devil is you, technically. So it's just about you, everything about you, your life, who you are. It can be that maybe if you have a partner, you guys have like better sex. Okay. For some of you, the devil can sometimes be that. For some of you, it can be something that held you back for so long, but because you were able to change your perspective of it, you are now thinking differently about it. And it seems like the way that you're thinking about it is what's freeing you from whatever that devil could possibly be. And so I think it's interesting that we have the devil and the angel here. And I feel like for some of you, you guys have been um maybe always feeling like you had that devil and that angel on your shoulder. But I mean, there's so much peace here. There's so much like trusting of oneself. I think the most important lesson here is that the relationship with yourself has gotten stronger because you allowed yourself to go through these things and not allow it to break you, but build you really. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles reversed with the Queen of Pentacles in the upright and then the Ten of Swords reversed. Tell me about that Knight of Pentacles reversed. The Eight of Swords. I kind of figured. So I feel like for some of you, you're going to come up on a situation where you're going to have a choice to make. And I feel like it could be financial. It could be something that will bring up your insecurities. It could be something where it's testing you or tricking you to see if you are going to care too much about what others think, or you're going to be too hard on yourself, which is going to essentially stop you from making the progress that you want, or you're going to rise above it, which I think you will, which is the Queen of Pentacles. This to me is a test of your self-worth, your patience, of how much you've evolved through all of this crap. And I feel like you're going to pass. I see a lot more financial stability here as well, but only after some kind of test. You may end up becoming some kind of business owner, or for some of you, if you're not in a relationship, you could certainly enter one. And if you're already have your own business, then it can be that your business starts doing better. But that Queen of Pentacles is you. The energy is gaining momentum. And Neptune. What an interesting energy. Tell me about that Neptune. I feel like it reminds me of whose was this? Whose reading was it? This reminds me of, oh man, who was it? Was it Leo? It was Leo. This reminds me of Leo, just in the way where I think it was Leo, and their reading was about how they kept ascending and ascending, and because they kept ascending and getting higher and higher or whatever, they started to feel lonely, or they're going to start to feel a little bit lonely. And I feel like for a lot of you, something is speeding up in your life, and it may take off more than you realize. And I think it will be something that is incredibly unexpected. And you're going to find that you end up disconnecting with people who just are committed to misunderstanding you, or people that don't really have a place in your life anymore, people that are not authentic to who you are. And I feel like you should run with that. So, Capricorn, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis and you can book with me there. Thanks a lot, you guys, and take care. And also, for those of you that have not turned on all notifications, make sure that you do that. It is right under this video. That way you can get notified every time I go live or every time that I post. You see me just try to take a drink of my water. Okay. All righty. Let's go ahead and move on to Aquarius. What is going on, Aquarius? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on for you, past, present, and future, and then we're going to pull some oracle decks. Let's see. Oracle cards. Holy crap, it's been a long night already. 8 of Cups in the recent past. The present, 3 of Pentacles. Near future is the Queen of Wands reversed. Okay. Tell me about that 8 of Cups in the past. Ooh. Ooh, that's rough. 8 of Cups, Judgment reversed, Empress reversed. Well, if you're this feminine character here, I definitely think that you probably realize that something here was an illusion. And you could have felt like you had a lot of options or a lot of choices, or you had an uncomfortable choice laid out in front of you that you essentially needed to make. And looks like you probably ended up walking away from it. And that Judgment reverse tells me that it could have caused some self-doubt. It could have caused some self-doubt. It could have caused some self-worth issues where you started doubting you, your sovereignty, even maybe to the point of your physical appearance. And I feel like it really fucked with you. I feel like it really messed with you, the fact that you felt like you had to go, or maybe somebody else walked away from you and it messed with your self-esteem or whatever it is. But I felt like there was also no going back at some point. Like you felt like there's no fucking going back to this. I can never do that. Tell me about that Judgment reversed. Page of Pentacles reversed. Too much manipulation. Too much manipulation, not enough effort, placed in a certain direction. No progress, really. Slack, lackadaisical, not a care in the world. For some of you, it can be that you were avoiding accountability, okay? Or it can be them. It could be that somebody here was avoiding accountability, and it could have felt like they just didn't even try to explain it, or, it could have felt like someone just didn't care because they were just avoiding the situation altogether. Tell me about that Empress reversed. The 10 of Wands. But I feel like you took responsibility for how you felt about yourself, regardless if this person was projecting something onto you or if you internalized their actions and made that mirror how you felt about yourself, or it caused some self-esteem issues. It could be that you took responsibility for your own feelings, essentially. But I feel like it's a long road with this one. It's a really long road with this one, but something was definitely done. The 3 of Pentacles for the present. The 10 of Pentacles. The Star reversed. Well, the Star is you, but it's reversed. I feel like there can be a collaboration that's happening or that's going to happen pretty soon. Some kind of collaboration, or maybe you're going to be getting along well with your coworkers, or you're working on a team of some sort. And I feel like there's a lot of potential here, or a lot of longevity. Maybe you got married, maybe you're in a relationship, or maybe once again, this is just focusing on longevity and legacy in some way, shape, or form. But that Star reverse tells me that you don't have a lot of hope in something, or you're still not healed. What's that Star reversed? The Ace of Cups. For some of you, you decided to throw yourselves into work or focusing on financial or material gains to distract yourself from how you were feeling about what happened. And, you know, like sometimes we can do that, right? Like we're feeling some kind of way emotionally. So, you know, we have to prove something to ourselves sometimes. So we'll like, we have to be more successful, or we have to go make more money, or we have to, you know, strive to get a better body or something like that. Right. And this is good. This is good ammunition, but there's always going to be that kind of like, it's because something else is missing and we try to replace it with something else, I think. And so for some of you, that's really what it was, because I think that you just really want to love and be loved, and you may have decided to throw yourself into something else because you felt so hopeless about the thing that initially, you know, quote unquote killed you, right? But that 10 of Pentacles tells me that something that you're working on with another deems to be pretty damn promising. It seems like it's working out. Give me one more on that star. The world, the beginning and the end, the Ace of Cups and the world, the beginning and the end. I feel like you want more. I feel like you're on a deeper journey than what's on the surface. And like things may be going well materially, or maybe things are going well in your relationship, or maybe things are going well at work, or something that's established is going good somewhere. But you don't have hope for another thing. That's unfortunate, because I feel like you'll have it, but I feel like first you have to have the faith in order to let it come to you and open yourself up to it. The near future, we have the Queen of Wands reversed, the Two of Swords reversed, and the Five of Cups reversed. If that Queen of Wands reversed is you, there may be something that comes back from the past that pisses you off, that makes you jealous, that fucks with your self-esteem again, that gets you angry, pushes your buttons, something like that. But there is a letting go of that energy. Tell me about that Five of Cups reversed, the Three of Swords reversed, something that was incredibly painful. I feel like it's going to trigger you so you can remember it's there and you can heal it and release it. So that way it doesn't follow you around like a, you know, a bad habit or something. How is it going to trigger Aquarius? The Nine of Pentacles reverse. Mm, it can be that somebody triggers you to prove yourself in some way, or triggers you to overcompensate by trying to maybe make you feel less than. But I feel like it may feel tense in the moment, but you're going to see why this has to happen. A time for healing, you don't say. And Aquarius, a time for healing, Aquarius. That is literally what it says. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. So, Aquarius, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you are more than welcome to head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis, and then you can book with me there. Take it easy. I'm sorry to hear that, Donna. Okay, you guys, please, I really have to pee. I really have to pee. I will literally be right back. One sec. All righty. All right, let's go ahead and, God, my hair is a freaking mess. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Pisces. What's up, Pisces? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on for your past, present, and future, and then we're going to pull some oracle cards. Past, High Priestess reverse. Well, that's you, just in reverse. Okay. The Ace of Wands for the current energy for you. And the near future, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Not terrible. I'm getting like some paranoia off of that High Priestess reverse, but let's see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oof. The High Priestess reversed, the Ace of Swords reversed, and the Fool reversed. This is definitely somebody who feels like they're in the dark. And so much in the dark that they become paranoid or they have a hard time trusting their own intuition. So that could have been something that you were dealing with in the recent past. And it could have made you very apprehensive. It could have made you fearful. It could have kept you kind of stuck in place. It could have also made you quite impulsive, maybe with your reactions or your responses or whatever it may be. What is that High Priestess reverse about? A Page of Cups reverse. It's probably about love, quite frankly. It could be about love. It could have been about somebody specific, maybe somebody younger with that Page of Cups reversed, or you could have felt like the victim in a situation because somebody was maybe hiding something from you. A secret could have come out, or once again, it was just truly paranoia. Tell me about that Ace of Swords reversed. The Ten of Cups, not having clarity around a family situation or a relationship or somebody that you have a family with. There could have been lies, deception, things like that, and you really getting in your head about shit, basically. Because somebody could have been incredibly manipulative or always playing the victim, right? Page of Cups reversed. And so you're like, yeah, I don't fucking trust this shit, And you could have been trying to break free, but like holding on for a really long time. Ace of Wands for the current energy. Nine of Wands reversed. Three of Cups. Okay. What's the Nine of Wands reversed? The Nine of Swords reversed. I feel like you're done with that mind frame. Like, I feel like you don't, like, you're giving up on that, internalizing somebody else's actions and allowing it to create anxiety inside of your brain. Like, I think that you're very motivated to give up that fight, like you could be like, yeah, this really isn't my fight to fight anymore, honestly, with that Nine of Wands reversed. And you could be opening yourself up to collaborations or more intimate conversations with people, friend groups, communities, collaborations, things of that nature. And it just feels like you're very inspired to let that mindset go, or whatever was causing you to, or triggering you to be in that mindset. It feels like you're kind of giving up on that. Because the Nine of Wands reversed can sometimes be paranoia, and the Nine of Swords reversed is clarifying it, which tells me that you just don't even want it in your brain anymore. You don't want that kind of thinking. It's not doing you any favors. What are we motivated about, or what is that Ace of Wands? The Ace of Pentacles reversed. So something didn't work out, so you're creating something new, you know? Like, and I know I've talked about it a million times on my channel, but uh, uh, what is it called? My relationship didn't work out with somebody, and like that's how I started this channel. When opportunity didn't work out, I started my fucking tarot channel. Like, one door may close. Maybe it's one that you didn't close, maybe you did, but sometimes one opens for you and sometimes you got to carve your own, and I feel like maybe that's what you're kind of doing. You may be trying to socialize more as well. Because I think you really value friendships right now, or like just people who understand you, and don't like create or trigger you to have that mindset. So In the near future, we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Justice. I feel like you're kind of getting to this point in the near future where you're like, okay, I gotta kind of shit or get off the pot. And what you're going to end up investing in is whatever it is that balances your life or makes your life better, essentially. Because I feel like with that Seven of Pentacles, you may be like, some progress is kind of slow. You know, I think that I also need to put more energy into this as well, you know, just to kind of balance it out or whatever. And I feel like you're very determined to win. I feel like you're very determined to do that and make the right decisions. And it seems like whatever it is working out. Like you're doing the right thing. And some of you are getting some good karma here in the near future. Tell me about that Seven of Pentacles. The Three of Wands reverse. Yeah, it feels like I told you that. It feels like something is not happening fast enough. So you may be also kind of putting your hand in another cookie jar in order to kind of balance things out or increase your finances in some way. Tell me about that Justice. The Lovers. Ooh, my goodness. Some of you are getting like, some of you are getting like fucking married, you know, or engaged maybe, or you end up meeting a partner that really evens you out, or it's a relationship that really makes sense. Kind of that yin and yang vibe. So cool. What a great reading. Good for you. Okay. So you have Surrender to the Divine, and then you also have House 5. So I really like this. When it says surrender to the divine with House 5, it's making me feel like you really need to surrender to your sense of creativity, self-expression, taking risks, you know? Um Even when it comes to like play and passion and just integrating more fun into your life and just kind of letting go, not taking things so seriously, just have a good fucking time. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like that's what it's saying. So, Pisces, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during the live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis and you can book with me there. Alrighty. Thanks to the person who tipped me 22.22 on my PayPal. In the note, they put, who cares what it's for? Okay. Well, thank you. I don't know if they want me to say their name. That's pretty damn funny, though. What's up, Jamie Johnson? How you doing? Donna, I feel like if the one thing that you truly want is to be loved, I think that you're going to have to love yourself more than anything. All right, let me see. We got Aries. What's going on, Aries? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and see your past, present, future, and then we'll go ahead and pull some oracle cards. Past, Seven of Cups. Present, Four of Swords reversed. Okay. Near future, Eight of Wands. Some of you could be taking a trip or learning something, or there could be some good news or fast communication kind of coming in out of nowhere. Let's see that Seven of Cups. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the fuck? What is this? What were we manifesting with that magician? The King of Pentacles. So you have the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Swords reverse, and the Magician. I think the magician on this card is so fucking cool. She is so cool. I don't think I've ever seen a cooler magician on a card, honestly. Um, and it says what what you were manifesting in the past was the King of Pentacles. I'm trying to figure out what that Seven of Swords reversed is. The Strength reversed. In the past, you may have had a lot of options. Now, what that is in regards to, I'm not really certain. But you had a lot of options and you certainly had a choice to make, but it could have felt a little foggy. You weren't really sure what the right choice was. And I think you were at this point where you may have felt like you had to be a little selfish in making this choice. And that could have made you feel some kind of way. That could have made you feel bad, maybe. You could have felt a little guilty for choosing yourself or choosing to focus on yourself, maybe. For others of you, it can be that the choice you made. Mm, what's that Seven of Cups? King of Cups reversed. If you're a masculine, some of you could have been absolutely like full of shit. You could have been exploring your options, but like telling somebody that you weren't, or if you're not a masculine, then you could have been kind of blindsided by somebody or kind of felt like you were being manipulated by a King of Cups reversed. And you could have gotten to this point where you just felt like you need to focus on yourself, and maybe in some way that it could have been around ego or pride, but it could have also just made you feel a little guilty about doing that. But then you could have gotten to this point where you decided that you wanted to manifest a King of Pentacles instead of a King of Cups reversed, where somebody who takes care of you, or maybe somebody who's more independent, or somebody who's a little bit more generous, or, somebody who's stable, basically, right? Who has their own shit going on. And for others of you, if you're a masculine, then the bullshit that you kind of like maybe pulled over another person's eyes, you could have felt guilty about that, but then you tried to uh I guess you could say be more honest with yourself about the things that you needed to change. And you could have been trying to evolve yourself into the King of Pentacles, maybe, but I'm getting the other story. So we have the Four of Swords reversed for the present moment, the Knight of Wands, and the Hangman. What's that Four of Swords reversed? The Six of Swords reversed. Something really stresses you out. Like something from the past stresses you out. I feel like it kind of haunts you sometimes. Okay. And you see that Four of Swords reverse and the Six Swords. But if you notice how the Knight of Wands and the Hangman is like facing in the opposite direction of this Four of Swords reverse. It almost feels like you're trying to distract yourself a little. Like you may be kind of like just trying to have fun and just kind of go with the flow or focus on your passions or something like that. But I feel like right now you're going through this kind of awakening process where you're perceiving things differently and you're kind of learning to let go. Because it almost feels as though like something was kind of hurting you or bothering you, and you just tried to pivot to distract yourself, and something was like, you know, you can't go past this gate unless you release this, or, and maybe that's where you kind of are right now, but you are allowing that to happen. And you may have a different perspective on like what your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities are, because there may have been a moment where you actually realized in the recent past how powerful you were and how powerful you are now. But it's almost like the universe or God didn't want you to skip a step, and there was still something else that you need to let go of right now, and that's what you're currently doing. It's kind of like this energy of surrender, because that Knight of Wands wants to take action. It wants what it wants. It wants to have fun. But the Hangman is like, chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? Where you kind of have to like make a sacrifice, or you have to surrender to something instead of pushing, pushing, pushing. Because it's begging you to have a different perspective about something. What is that Hangman? About logic, maybe, about the way your mind works, about your there's a lot of masculine energy here. The way that you think, your logic, maybe your ego. your decision making, the way that you communicate. Maybe you needed to let go of a King of Swords, or you need to have more compassion for a King of Swords. It's really going to depend on what gender you are and like whatever, but and I feel like you're getting a lot of clarity right now, especially in regards to what your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities are, the things that you're wanting to take action on. Hmm. The Eight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Six of Cups reversed for your near future. I feel like some of you are getting a message. Is this person, is Aries the one, is this person on the table the one that is giving the message? No. You're too damn stubborn. Some of you. It looks like you're receiving a message from a Knight of Cups, somebody who's trying to sweep you off of your feet, but I feel like you have some mixed feelings about this person because it can be somebody from your past. Like the Six of Cups reverse can be somebody who we have a little bit of a grudge towards or we're not really happy with. What do they want? The Four of Wands reversed. One more. The Two of Wands reversed. They feel unwelcomed in your life, maybe, or a little insecure about reaching out. They may want to get you stuck back on them. Good luck. Good luck, Aries. Okay. Conclusions are within reach. And house 12. Well, we were just talking about house 12 because of Hangman. It's kind of the same like Neptune energy. And so house 12 is about that surrender. It's about needing to sacrifice something. It's about house 12. So there's 12 signs in the zodiac, as you know, there's 12 houses in your natal chart, right? And house 12 comes right before house 1. And it's kind of like the house like you think about giving birth, right? And it's like it's so scary because you feel like you're going to die. You don't know what's going on, right? Like if you're a baby in the belly, you're probably fucking terrified. You don't know what's going on, right? Just like in death, how scared we are to pass on, whatever. But house 12 is like going through that and then coming out in house 1, which is like you, your identity, who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like a rebirth is kind of happening here, or it's about that surrender. It's about that change. It's about letting go. It's about some kind of sacrifice that you're needing to make. And that's when you're going to, I don't want to say hit the end of the road, but you're going to finally get that conclusion or that result that you've been kind of looking for in regards to something. So something's going to make a bit more sense, but it's about going through that kind of like karmic healing, transcendent, spiritual tunnel in order to get out on the other side for things to make more sense. Like I felt like that's what I felt like I had to do when I was trying to get sober. So, and house 12 can be the house of addiction. So maybe it's something about that as well. Maybe it's something about mental health. So that's what I have for you, Aries. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis and you can book with me there. Take it easy. Is that right? 12th house? What do you mean is what right about the 12th house? Like what it means? What's up, Dina? Huh? Yeah. Is that what you mean? Yeah, the 12th house. I think that's what you mean. The 12th house can be about your mental health. It's the house of the unknown. It's your subconscious as well, right? It's what we don't see coming. It's our blind spot because it's right behind house 1. And this can also be like the house of addictions, the house of prisons, jail cells, being incarcerated in some kind of way. It's hard having planets in the 12th house. It's like it's almost like you feel like you can't access it sometimes. But it can be your subconscious, but yeah. What's up, Michael? Hello. Yeah, I can't drink anymore. I just can't do it. I can't do it. God. And after I like came out on the other side of not drinking anymore, I was like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe I had been suppressing my potential this entire time like this. This is crazy. Who knows where I would have been if I never drank? I'll never drink again, ever. Pluto is in my 12th house. Ooh, I bet your intuition is fucking scary accurate, though. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Taurus. My rising and my moon sign. I know nobody cares. All right, Taurus. Hey, I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at past, present, and future. Okay, 7 of Wands for the past. Current energy is the King of Wands reversed. The Emperor reversed for the near future. Some of you are a masculine, okay? Okay, what's that 7 of Wands? The 6 of Wands reversed. Oh, man. The Death. Whoa. This is really interesting to me. So the 7 of Wands, the 6 of Wands reversed, and the Death card, it definitely feels like some kind of success or reputation, or maybe the way people viewed you died. It changed, but it also evolved. And maybe you had a bit of a fall from grace, or maybe it was something a little dramatic that happened in regards to your career and reputation or something like that. But the 7 of Wands tells me you stood your ground. The 7 of Wands in the upright can be where maybe we have a lot of like haters, or we have people that are trying to steal something that we have, or they're trying to put us down in order to gain some kind of position that we've acquired, or whatever it may be. And that can be really stressful. And if you look at traditional Rider-Waite tarot, you can see on the 7 of Wands, it's either that he's missing a shoe or he's wearing two different shoes. The guy that's trying to fight off the six wands, okay, or the girl, whatever. And it's because it's supposed to be like, okay, they were so surprised that this happened that they just hustled and bustled to try to put on whatever shoes they could find to go and like fight these people, right? And so this could have been something that kind of blindsided you a little bit, or something that you didn't really expect. But I feel like this death was necessary, but it wasn't your death. It was a death to something that was attached to you. So like an evolution of some sort. Tell me about that death. The Page of Wands. The Page of Wands can be about immaturity. With the death and the Page of Wands, like maybe something changed in regards to how you show up, how you go after things, your confidence. Where does that confidence come from? Is it ego? Whatever it may be. So something evolved or changed in that regard. The King of, what is this? The King of Wands reversed for the current. 5 of Pentacles reversed. The Queen of Cups reversed. Well, either you're this queen or you're this king. Maybe both. I think that this is interesting. As a reader, I always like to see where the cards are kind of facing, like if they have faces or something like that. You notice how that king and that queen aren't really looking at each other. There's a feminine here who doesn't really trust, who is having a hard time trusting, maybe is a little overly sensitive or emotional sometimes. And then there's a masculine who's very much in their ego. They may always have something to say, or always something to fight about. It's kind of like the false leader a little bit, and we all get in our ego. We can all be overly sensitive, but that 5 of Pentacles reverse tells me that we are able to overcome something, or we're letting go of maybe not valuing another as much, or we're letting go of some kind of abandonment wounds. What's that 5 of Pentacles reversed? The 4 of Pentacles reversed. It seems like you and this person are trying to take a chance, or it's that you're just simply letting go. But the 5 of Pentacles reversed can be where we're kind of coming out of the cold. But I feel like this really needs to be worked on. Like, this is all well and good, but I feel like the Queen of Cups has to work on her emotional issues, and the King of Wands reverse has to work on his ego. That's what that looks like to me. So I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's a family member. I don't know if that is a boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know. But what has to change between these two? The Page of Swords reversed, always assuming, misinformation, assuming information, always trying to one up the other. The Page of Swords reversed is like the dimwit. So something about that needs to change. In the near future, we have the Emperor reversed, the Sun, excuse me, and the 4 of Cups. Okay. I feel like you guys may outshine someone. It could be this Emperor reversed, but it's almost like you may be outshining someone, and you could be rejected because you're doing that. Maybe you're not doing it on purpose. Why the 4 of Cups? The 6 of Pentacles reversed. Is that Emperor like this person that I'm reading for? No. So then you must be the feminine. Okay. So there may be a masculine energy in your near future who's a bit of a tyrant, or a bit of a, like, I feel like maybe they just got their balls busted one too many times, and now they're just a prick or a shitty boss, or I don't know, whatever. But I feel like with this sun energy there, I feel like this is you. I feel like you're just shining and you're happy and you're optimistic. And I feel like this person is rejecting you because of it, or something like that. Because you're showing up as so confident, and it's almost like this is who this person wants to be. I feel like there's somebody here who's low-key jealous of you, and it's a man. It's a man. And I don't know if it's a boss. I don't know if it's a boyfriend. I don't know if it's a husband. I don't know if it's a brother. But it's somebody who thinks that they have some level of authority. But I hate to say that, right? But the Emperor reversed is somebody who really is not truly masculine. They wear the costume of a masculine. They want the crown without the responsibility, or they feel out of control within themselves, so they feel as though they have to control others and have to control how everybody feels about themselves, or how people see them, or and it can be quite passive aggressive. So you be careful with that. Your hard work is paying off. Yep, keep going. And then we have mutable. I feel like this is about you continuously chucking along. Like, if people aren't throwing tomatoes at you, or if people aren't trying to take you down, you're probably not doing enough. And that's just the truth of it, right? If everybody loves you and everybody's your friend and everybody's your best friend, it's because you're not a threat to anything that they have or that they want. And that's the reality of it. So, um just keep doing what you're doing, and just try to go with the flow, and just welcome change as it comes. Okay. So Taurus, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you are more than welcome to head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot. And if you guys have not, make sure that you turn on all notifications for the channel. It is right down here on the video. So that way you can get notified every time I go live, or every time that I post. Alrighty. What's up, JJ? Yes, Tom. Moon and Taurus twin. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Gemini. What's going on, Gemini? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and see your past, present, future, and then we'll pull some oracle cards. Past, Queen of Swords. Present, Two of Pentacles. We got to pull out the other deck because I'm starting to run out of cards here. Then Two of Pentacles again, but in reverse. So something that you're maintaining now, you're going to have to end up dropping. Okay. Let's see that Queen of Swords. Five of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles reversed. Sorry about that. To be honest with you, a lot of you guys could have blocked communication from somebody because you felt like they were lying about finances, or they were lying about money, or they were lying about maybe over promising and under delivering. And I feel like for some of you, if you're this Queen of Swords, you may have been a little, you know, wise to the game basically and caught on, and you're like, yeah, no, it could have been something like that. This can also be where you decided to cut the shit and started making better financial decisions, especially if you were like spending too much, or you were, going broke trying to look rich, or whatever it may be. Tell me about that Five of Swords. The Eight of Pentacles, Five of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you guys went backwards. Okay, so if this isn't about cutting somebody out or something like that, if this is something in regards to your financial independence in the past or lack thereof, I feel like you guys got back to basics. There was something that you had to go back and recalibrate or reconfigure about your work, your job, maybe your health as well. And I feel like you were being very smart about it, or smarter, because I think that you kind of had to learn the hard way in regards to whatever this is. And I don't want to say you like hit rock bottom per se, but like you definitely hit a nail, or got snagged on a nail, I guess you could say. Tell me about that Queen of Swords. The Four of Swords reversed. After some time of like not really talking or saying something, or maybe like being alone, you could have decided to speak out against someone or something like that. Or it's just that you really healed and you cut something the fuck off, honestly, and raised your standards for what your expectations are when it comes to people in your life or whatever that may be. I feel like you made the right decision. So then we have the Two of Pentacles with the King of Cups reversed and the Lovers. What's the King of Cups reversed intention? The Six of Swords. You may have a choice to make here between lovers, okay? Or somebody does. And somebody here may feel like they need to essentially move on. Is that King of Cups reversed Gemini, or like this person? No. So it's not you. This is somebody else. That King of Cups reversed is somebody else. You may be trying to move on from somebody else. You may have another option as well. The Lovers is Gemini. That's you, definitely in your higher self, making higher self decisions. I don't feel like this is an easy decision. Like, you may be just kind of going about the motions, but like I feel like you know the truth about something. And it may be that you're essentially needing to move on because you feel like somebody's not being vulnerable enough, or you may feel like somebody's full of shit. It could also simply be that this person actually is for you, but you feel like you guys really need to resolve a problem, but sometimes they have an issue being very open about what their problems are. You may feel like they're essentially kind of avoidant. But I feel like you're handling sorry, I got something in my eye. I feel like you guys are handling things on your end. What's that Two of Pentacles? The Four of Pentacles. You guys are just like going about your fucking business, honestly. Minding your P's and Q's, taking care of what it is that you have to take care of. Like, I feel like you got a choice, you got a big choice that you have to make here in regards to maybe a person, or when it comes to choosing more responsibly in regards to what you really want, and maybe holding out for a person that you really want. So trying to make wise choices, I would say. I feel like okay, for a few of you, it may be that you make really irresponsible decisions when you're like in your emotions or when you're feeling some kind of way, okay? Maybe you like get really in your feelings and then you decide that you're going to spend a shit ton of money, like, you know, I don't know, on Amazon or something like that, then you fucking regret it. Like, I feel like some of you, if that is a thing that you do, I think that you're moving on from that and trying to make more responsible decisions, okay? Oh, now we have a Queen of Cups reversed. Two of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Cups reversed, Ten of Cups reversed. Oh man, I feel like you're gonna end up dropping something that is causing you a lot of like emotional flux, or causing you a lot of chaos or drama in your life, or maybe you don't feel very emotionally supported. This could also be something in regards to like family, where you're like, yeah, I'm not fucking dealing with this anymore. I just want to say be cautious, because something could come up in regards to a relationship or family where you kind of I don't want to say drop the ball, because sometimes you need to do that, but you may react out of your emotions and choose irresponsibly, like make a very overly emotional decision, which may be the exact thing that you're trying not to do. What is this about? Why? Like, what's happening? The Fool reversed. Yeah, the Fool reversed is like acting on impulse. One more. The Hangman. It's really about like acting on impulse, or reacting versus just kind of like letting something go. And I feel like it can be that somebody ends up doing something very impulsive and we get pissed off, and then everything kind of goes down in flames, you know, or that's how it can feel in the moment. I don't think it's that dramatic, right? But I think you, if you just kind of like surrender it and not have a reaction, I think that you will find that the circumstances prove to be a lot better than you thought they'd be. We had, yeah, I'll say emotions are running high, and then Chiron. Well, Chiron is currently retrograde, so I mean, this kind of makes sense. So think about where Aries is at in your chart, because that's currently where Chiron is going retrograde, and that kind of may make some sense for you. So, for instance, if you're a Libra rising and you have Chiron going retrograde through your seventh house, maybe this is some wounds that you're needing to talk about or rethink, or whatever it is around your one-on-one intimate partnerships. Or maybe it is in your fourth house of home and family. Maybe there are some old childhood wounds or familial wounds or whatever. So I feel like emotions may get very heightened, but it's because it's trying to get you to work through whatever that trigger is or whatever that wound is. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Alrighty. Okay. Let's move on to Cancer. What's up, Amelia? It's nice to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you forever. What's up, JJ? What's up, Deb? All right, let's see. All right, Cancer, what is going on? I hope that you guys are doing super awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on for you, past, present, future, and then we, of course, will pull some oracle cards. Past, Hierophant. Present, Five of Wands reversed. Okay. The Three of Swords for the near future. Okay, what's the Hierophant? Eight of Cups reversed. Five of Swords reversed. Okay. This could have been a marriage or a relationship of some sort. It could have felt like, oh God, I just can't win. You know, I just can't win, or these games are going to kill me, or this mental anguish, whatever. And so there could have been something here where a person or you kept coming back to the relationship, or maybe you kept returning to an old belief system, or you kept going back to try to learn something that you wanted to educate yourself on. And maybe you just sometimes felt like you were just fucking failing, or maybe this is the wrong path, or there could have been a lot of questions around this Hierophant, which once again can be around religion, spirituality, education, or maybe a relationship. But I feel like there's some kind of solid foundation in one way or another. Tell me what the nature of the Hierophant was. The Death card. Ooh. Oh, yeah. This was meant to change something about and transform something about your foundational structures. Maybe about your beliefs, your values, your morals, your moral compass, the way your mind works, maybe, what you've learned, your relationships. Something was changing. This was a very transformative relationship, maybe. What wasn't working? The Tower reversed. Something really needed to change. Something really needed to change. You know what this feels like? It feels like if this was like a relationship, for instance, maybe it was a relationship with a guru or a mentor. Okay. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it feels like something really needed to change in your life, but there was a refusal. Like you wouldn't do it, or you wouldn't pivot, or you were still hanging on to something that just really wasn't fitting for you anymore. And then it ended up that something came in, or a person, and it forced the change through maybe learning about this person, or learning from this person, or vice versa, or whatever it is. But I feel like there was also a lot of there could have been a lot of, what is it called? What is it called? Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy. There could have been a lot of, holy shit, what is it called? Starts with a C, not cunt. Like where you have to meet in the middle. Why can I not think of that word? That's gonna drive me crazy. It's such a simple ass word. Compromise. Compromise. God. Okay, sorry. That's driving me crazy. I feel like there was a lot of compromises in this connection if it was about a connection. I feel like you learned a lot though. Five of Wands reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and the World reversed. But it's still up in the air. It's like there's this energy of the Five of Wands. It's like we're not trying to fight it. We're not trying to fight. We're not trying to argue. We're not trying to have any kind of internal conflict. But what we are doing is we're still not moving forward. There's still unfinished business regarding what we've learned, or our higher mind, or our perspective, or our philosophy on life. And the reason why it's so important is the lack of optimism somewhere. Like, or the lack of like letting go, like needing to let go of control, and not try to push a narrative all the time, or maybe your way isn't always the right way, or maybe their way isn't, but it's like a repetitive cycle in your life. Tell me more about that Wheel of Fortune reversed. The Nine of Cups reversed. It's like you're not getting what you want because you keep acting against your own interests. Like, I want you to think of Jupiter, right? Because that's the Wheel of Fortune, okay? And in astrology, Jupiter is known as the greater benefic. And while he can bring really great, beautiful gifts, okay, sometimes he can overdo it, or he can be overly self-righteous, or too much of a good thing is not always a good thing, right? It can kind of be that, or we're eating way too much, and then we gain freaking 200 pounds, or whatever, right? And so maybe there's too much of something in your life, like, and that's what, and this is also Jupiter, but it's in reverse. The Nine of Cups is Jupiter and Pisces. What's the World reversed? The Eight of Swords. It's a stuck energy. How do we get out of that? The Eight of Wands reversed. You have to open up your mind. Learn more. The Eight of Wands is Mercury and Sagittarius. There's a lot of Jupiter energy here. But it's really about maturity at the end of the day. And so we have to be mature enough to be able to open up our mind to new ideas and other people's opinions and things like that. It's something like that. But there's just basically a cycle that you keep repeating. And it's like you're never getting to that finish line because you keep repeating it. Because it's like something that you're addicted to or something you're attached to, or maybe there's a codependency of some sort, or maybe there's like a selfishness or something. And it's keeping you in a circle. In the near future is the Three of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Star reversed. Why the Three of Swords? The Ace of Swords reversed. I feel like there's a secret, especially with the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords reversed. I feel like somebody has a secret, and I feel like shit may, you know, maybe a truth is like kind of revealed, and it's like, I feel like I kind of fucking knew that, like even though I wanted to like not really, like I feel like it's something you already know, and I feel like life is kind of like hinted it at you, but it's like okay, and you can kind of feel like I feel like this heartbreak, okay, or this pain that you're feeling, although it sucks and you're like, oh, I'm fucking, I'm never sharing anything with anyone ever again, or I'm never gonna heal from this. You don't see it in the moment, and you're not gonna see it in the moment, but it's going to launch you into your highest potential. The King of Pentacles. It may either attract you to a King of Pentacles or get you paired up with the King of Pentacles kind of energy. Somebody who's very stable, right? Comfortable in their life, a provider of some sort, or that's what you are evolving to. A businessman, a businesswoman, something's getting better with money, but you maybe end up reaching your higher potential in regards to business and stability because of that. A new start is coming. And then house one, this is all about you. This is all about you and how you see yourself and the energy that you give to the world and people's first impression of meeting you and your physical body and how you look and your approach to life and your self-image and your individuality. And so there is going to be a brand new start, and it may feel a little like kind of uncomfortable at first, but I feel like it's going to ultimately help you reach your highest potential in some way or another. Okay. So, Cancer, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis and you can book with me there. Ooh, my back hurts. What's up, Lisa? Aw, you're welcome, Vanessa. Have a good night. Mojo! I was bitching about you earlier. I was like, where is Mojo? Aw, Deb, did somebody do that? That's so nice. All right, let me just get some water and I will be right back, okay? Of course, on my way, I had to stop and get pistachios. You knew it, Kinez. What's up, Mary? What is this fucking music? I don't think so. Okay. Wee. Okay. I don't think that's going to be enough. Oh, well. We'll ride them until the wheels fall off. All right. It is time for super chat questions. How was the Gemini read? I don't remember. I honestly really don't remember. Like, after I do them, I don't remember them. That's okay, Mojo. I was just messing. All right, let's see. Now we're gonna do super chat questions. Okay. Why did I X out of that? Idiot. Okay. All right, so let me do number one. This is going to take a while because number one has a pretty long question. Okay, so don't think I'm just like staring here blankly at the screen. I'm reading what she's saying. All right, so super chatter number one. So first I'm going to pull cards, number one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak from personal experience. And you are totally welcome to listen to that or not. Okay. So as far as the what effect will karma have on him, let's see. We have the Three of Cups, the Knight of Wands reversed, and the Three of Wands reversed. So it's going to get to a point with the people that he has been in direct connection with, okay? people that have maybe cared for him or helped him, maybe to your length or clearly not, right? It will get to a point where he will end up shooting himself in the foot because of his inconsistencies or maybe his player like behavior. Knight of Wands reversed. And when the Knight of Wands is showing up in reverse, it means that we're in and out and there's not a consistent flow of energy. And the Three of Wands reversed is showing up because he's going to start kind of hitting a brick wall. So he could be trying to be in and out and end up messing up a lot of his relationships to the point where his expectations or his needs don't really get met. The Three of Wands in the upright is our ships coming in, or we are brave enough to venture out maybe into the unknown. And then eventually we hit the Four of Wands, which is a celebration. There's not really a celebratory energy here. If anything, there's frustration. Once again, he feels like he's hitting a wall, etc. I'm going to clarify a little bit more. Tell me about that Three of Wands reversed. The Nine of Swords reversed. So this can be something that ends up causing him a lot of stress and strain. The Two of Wands, it's just keeping him stuck. It's keeping him in a loop. So whatever his inconsistent player-like energy may be, it's going to end up messing up his relationships, and he's going to hit a ceiling. Sorry, it's been a long night. And so if you see that the Three of Wands reversed, it's going backwards because now we're going from the Three of Wands to the Two of Wands. So he's being almost pushed back in some kind of way until he develops a more mature or healthy sense of ego or whatever it may be. So he's probably going to run into a lot of you know, brick walls essentially. And he's going to end up being pushed backwards until he proves to the universe that he wants change and that he can change himself and be more consistent in his one-on-one relationships, friendships, whatever it may be. And what I mean by this is like, just to be more specific, right? So, um, like if you have a child, for instance, and every time the child yells and screams at you, you give them an ice cream cone, they're always going to expect that if they are able to throw a fit that they can get an ice cream cone. Well, now it may be that he's not getting his ice cream cones anymore. And now he doesn't really have anybody else to depend on, kind of thing, to give him those ice cream cones. Does that make sense? So it's either that he's going to have to change his behavior or he's going to have to get used to not getting ice cream cones. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you did the letter thing, would it backfire? Let's see what would happen as far as karma goes if you were to do that. Justice reverse. Yeah, I wouldn't do it personally. The Four of Wands, the Page of Pentacles reverse. I wouldn't do that. I don't think it will turn out the way that you want it to. It's going to end up probably feeling like something ends up not really working out, or you could get maybe some negative karma in regards to a living situation or a family situation or just some kind of home situation. So for me personally, no, I don't think that you should. In my experience of my 38 years, what I have learned that all the time. It is almost all the time. It is better to allow God or the universe, whatever, to be able to take it into their own hands as opposed to you doing it. Because essentially, what you're doing is you're telling the universe, oh, don't worry, I got this. But the amount of strength that you have versus the amount of strength that the universe has is absolutely no compare. So it can be tempting, right? It can be tempting to want to take matters in our own hands. And sometimes we have to, okay? Sometimes we're forced to do those things. And quite frankly, a lot of those times are justified. But there are some times when you just got to let it work itself out. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is probably one of those times. Um, so no, it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person. It makes you human for wanting those things. I know that you had asked me that. Um, Give me some advice for her. Okay. Wow. You have the Queen of Swords, the Judgment, the Seven of Wands, and then the Ace of Pentacles. The Queen of Swords is like basically taking all of the lessons that you learned and applying them to your current experience. This is about making head over heart decisions and not allowing your emotions to overcome you, and you end up making bad decisions because of it. And it's also asking you to take accountability for that, to take accountability for your own thought life, to make higher self decisions, because I feel like you have a higher path here. But it's really about what you choose to do that's either going to keep you from that path, or that's going to help you on that path. And so with that Seven of Wands, I feel like there is some level of maybe financial success that you've had, or some level of opportunities that you've had, or something like that, that now you're needing to maintain that. I feel like you really have what it takes to maybe work in a very competitive environment that could eventually create more opportunities for you. But if you put your energy into this, energy is like currency, it's like money. And so whatever you're spending your money on is what you're buying energetically. So it's really something to think about. And even if it is taking justice into your own hands, it kind of starts to snowball. So make head over heart decisions, which is essentially going to create more opportunities for yourself. Your dreams need a practical plan and opposition. I feel like this is a great time for you to get your ass in gear and take the things that you're wanting to create or wanting to do and putting a map out, right? So for instance, like I feel like you're here, your goals are over there, and you might just kind of be like this right now. It's about hiring somebody on Upwork or a professional to help you in that direction. Going into the app Notion, for instance, and creating some kind of content calendar, right? Like if you're trying to do social media, right? And scheduling content and this, that, and the third, or asking ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, this is my goal. How can I get here by blah, 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 blah. And it will help you, whatever you have to do in order to create a practical plan for yourself to get from point A to point B. Thank you so much, number one. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. I know that's tough, baby. Trust me, I get it. I really do. All right, number two. No way. Oh my God, did he really? How bizarre. Okay. Let's see what he was attempting to do. He was in his ego. Nine of Wands reverse, the sun reverse. I feel like he was trying to get your attention with that sun there, but it was for ego. He may have tried to he was either doing a few things. He was either trying to make you paranoid about something. He knew that you knew he was there. I'm going to tell you that right now. He knew that you knew. He was trying to get your attention, or he was trying to get you to give in to something. Okay. Give into a wave, give into giving him that attention. It was for attention. He wanted attention. He wanted you to acknowledge him, essentially, is what that is. Love this for you personally. How did he feel in the moment? Ace of Cups, wanting love, probably reminiscing, thinking about you, you know, wanting to offer something, but he definitely wanted your attention. What about after it happened? How did he feel? Ten of Wands reverse, Ten of Wands reverse, probably defeated, probably like, oh shit, maybe I did too much, definitely a burden. Probably felt like an idiot. That's really interesting. It was definitely for your attention, though. Hmm. Number 3, including the Ten of Swords. Okay, let's see. If you had new love in your life, Page of Wands, excuse me, Page of Cups. If you had new love in your life, or if he like maybe saw somebody flirting with you under your pictures on Instagram or something like that, I feel like it would trigger his ego. There's that ego again. I feel like it's when his ego is triggered. I feel like he wants your attention. He wants you to notice him. All right, let's see. Number 4. Okay. Is he committed to number 4? I would say to an extent with the 2 of Cups there, but that 6 of Wands reverse, it can have him feeling a bit entitled. Maybe he can do whatever he wants. Maybe he feels like he is entitled to your energy or your love or something like that. And it may be that he's kind of hiding this a little bit, or he's not really looking for any kind of unwanted attention when it comes to this relationship, which is a little, if that's the case, that's a little red flaggy to me. But I feel like emotionally there's a commitment. But as far as like a substantial, like, hey, we're together, I'm showing you off to all my friends, I'm whatever, like, I'm not really seeing that. But the 2 of Cups is like a mutual understanding, a love between two people. But I don't see like the Hierophant or like the Ten of Pentacles or the Lovers exactly. You know what I'm saying? But there is love here. This person is in love with you. But for some reason they may be hiding it, or they're not really telling people, or they're not looking for any kind of unwanted attention, or worse, he feels entitled to you. Number 5. Okay, let's see what you don't see coming. Show me the next 3 months. The Empress. This is either a baby's mother. Okay, so if you have a baby's mother, this could certainly be her. All right. Maybe she's showing up as really wanting to nurture things. It seems like she's looking great, or if this is somebody new, then I would say this is like the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, the pick of the litter kind of person coming around here. The Moon. Oof. Oh yeah, somebody is listen, I'm going to tell you right now. If you don't want to get anybody pregnant, I'd keep it in your pants, or, take the precautionary measures, cuz that can certainly be the case. But it seems like there is some kind of very deep emotional connection that you may be exploring with another person with that Empress and that Moon. Give me another one. The Knight of Cups. Damn. Okay, number 5. Shit, don't hurt him. Damn, this is gorgeous energy. I'm hating a little bit. I'm not even going to lie to you. So we have Taurus, Libra, Pisces, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Tell me about that Moon. The 3 of Pentacles reverse. Give me one more on that Moon. The King of Swords reverse. This may be somebody you don't get along with necessarily, or you're not always on the same page about, but you may keep quiet about it. This is somebody that you may end up taking action towards, or they you. But this is like a very gorgeous, like you will be attracted to this person. I don't know who this is. What is this Empress's intentions with number 5? The Strength, passion, maybe holding back a little bit, but there is passion here, attraction, strong sexual energy, maybe. Damn, okay, shit. Okay. What do I need to know? Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Seven of Pentacles reversed, Ten of Swords reversed, and the Knight of Swords reversed. I feel like there's somebody in your life who may be masculine. They may have a strong Gemini placement or maybe strong air energy somewhere, but I feel like this person is still very triggered by something that happened between the two of you in the past, but they don't talk about it, or they're just kind of going with the flow, or they're maybe a little passive aggressive about it, or they're trying not to really invest too much energy into it, or this person has lost their patience with you. I don't know who that is, but this person isn't over something. Like, I don't know if there was some kind of beef between the two of you or some kind of financial issue, but this person doesn't seem to be like over something. Like they're still triggered by you, or they're being passive aggressive, or they're being quiet about it, or a little hush hush, something like that. But you trigger this person. Whoa. The Page of Swords, the Devil, and the Magician. I feel like there's a very strong shadow side to you that I think you need to access because it's a part of your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities. There's something about that. I think with that Page of Swords, this can be about where you're needing to learn something, you're needing to explore something, you're needing to create something, write something, teach something, needing to educate yourself on something. Why the devil? In order to empower yourself. Something in regards to your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities. I feel like you are, it's going to sound so corny, but I feel like you're at this heightened power right now where you can really achieve the things that you want to achieve, where you can really get where you're trying to go. But it's like you have to it's like you have to start small with something, is kind of what I'm getting with that Page of Swords. But there's a bigger picture here. There's something very deep about this. Like, I don't know if you reject a part of yourself or you deny a part of yourself, or but it just might be that part of yourself that is going to get you where you want. That part of yourself that isn't going to be afraid to say the thing or do the thing or make the decision or whatever. Like something about your shadow, like don't deny that part of yourself. I'm not telling you to go and like sniff cocaine off of a stripper's ass. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. Well, I wasn't expecting that. You got the moon again. What's up with this moon? There's something about a mother, a baby's mother. I don't know if like a mother passed on to you and is like trying to communicate or whatever. But there's something emotionally, like this balanced spirituality and practicality here. Like, I don't know if you're just working too much and not focusing enough on meditation, or maybe you're focusing on tarot too much and you're not focusing enough on like your day-to-day routine and working out. But that's the one thing that's going to create emotional stability in your life, or it's going to help you trust yourself more by doing the things that are good for you, and you're able to rebuild or build that relationship with yourself. But I feel like there's some kind of balance in your life that you, I don't want to say desperately need, but that you need in order to create that emotional harmony in your life. Like there are some emotional needs that I think that you have that you're really needing to maybe pay attention to. I don't know if you like deny them. Maybe that's what the devil is, or like something, but don't like deny that part of yourself, because there's something there about that. Okay. Like really focus on your emotional well-being right now, and like educating yourself in regards to like a talent, gift, skill, or ability that you have. Like you have what it takes right now to create something, but you need to do this now and like not just sit around or wait around. I'm not saying you're doing that, but There's something about that because you need to acquire more knowledge in order to pursue something. Okay, I'm not going to get stuck on that forever. But thanks a lot, number 5. I really appreciate it. And as always, if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis or violettaalexis.com. Thanks a lot, number 5. Good to see you as always. All right, then we have number 6. Okay. Hmm. Let me see how the relationship is between those two first. I want to see his feelings for her. Okay. Okay. 6 of Cups reversed, the Emperor, and the 6 of Pentacles reversed. I feel like there's some grudges there. I think there are some grudges that he still has, so maybe a little bit of animosity. I think he realizes that some kind of thought process that he has, he may be kind of feeling like he needs to grow up. I think in this current relationship with the Emperor being there, he may feel like whatever petty feelings he has about her or animosity he may have about her, he needs to kind of put to the side and take care of his responsibilities as a man. So the Emperor is the type of person who is like, yeah, I can't sit here and fucking cry about this. Like, I have shit that I have to do. I have bigger fish to fry. I have responsibilities. And he may feel responsible for her even now. With that 6 of Pentacles reverse, it can be that he's kind of feeling a little robbed or taken advantage of in some way. I do want to see that 6 of Pentacles reverse, the 5 of Cups reverse, but nonetheless, I feel like there's forgiveness or there's kind of an understanding maybe. There's like an understanding about it, but it's like he's not, it doesn't seem like he's really trying to be petty. What's her feelings for him? The Hermit reversed, the 10 of Pentacles reversed, the 7 of Cups reversed. She feels like she got a pretty big reality check after probably being paranoid about him for a while. She's not really seeing a future here. I think that she's more irritated than anything. I still think she's probably paranoid, and she definitely feels like she has a choice to make. So she feels like she basically got hit with a pretty big like reality check stick. You know what I'm saying? So, and what was that about? The 2 of Swords reversed, maybe something that was being hidden, something she avoided in her intuition for a long time, and now she kind of gets it. So as far as the divorce, I'm trying to understand your question. Did he change his mind? Let me hold on. See, what I'm wondering is if okay. Did he change his mind about? The answer is no, with the Queen of Wands reversed. About the divorce question, the answer is no. Let me see if he's actually going to pursue the divorce in the next 3 months. I'm not really seeing anything. It's The Queen of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Wands reversed, the Four of Cups reversed. It just feels like his wife might be really, really mad at him. Like this person may be very pissed off at him. And there can be some kind of like delay, like he's holding out, he's holding off, he's waiting, something like that. And now this is just a 12 card pull, but this is what I'm seeing. It feels like he's delaying it to see if maybe they can come to an understanding. That's what that looks like, but he's still delaying it. Your advice is it's time to take action and house 6. So it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. This is about it's time to take action in regards to being a leader in regards to some part of your life, or you are needing to implement proper boundaries. You're needing to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, something like that. But it's next to the card of house 6. Well, house 6 comes before house 7. So house 6 in astrology can be where we're needing to work things out before we get into a relationship. We're needing to clean up our fucking habits. We're needing to clean up our porn addiction or whatever it is, right? But this can also be the house of work, your day-to-day routine. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis that is helping you take the lead in your own life? Are you being responsible with your health? Things like this. So for some reason, this is showing up and it's telling you that you need to assert yourself in this part of your life. Work, health, day-to-day routine, your habits, etc. So I don't know why. Maybe debts as well, or something around pets, because that can also be house 6. So I don't know. I don't know why. But let me know how everything works out. I hope you're okay. I know that's probably really stressful to deal with. Thank you so much, number 6. Please take care. All right. What's up, number 7? Okay, let me see. Hold on. Let me shuffle really quick. Oh God, I feel so sweaty. I hate doing this right after I freaking get out of the gym. I just feel so gross. As a Virgo and a 6th house stellium, I just can't do it, buddy. I just can't do it. It grosses me out. I used to do it all the time, but ugh. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Thank you for waiting. Okay, so number 7. All right. If there's something wrong with your car, I feel like you'll get it fixed. Not sure why I'm getting that with that Chariot reverse, Temperance, Ace of Wands. Okay. Tell me about that Chariot reversed. Okay, something in regards to work or maybe your physical health or maybe the gym or some kind of project that you're working on. You can feel a little disorganized or you can feel like you're not really having a victory in that direction. But with that temperance there, it seems like something finally levels out or it seems like something finally starts to work, which essentially makes you more motivated. So you could see this as, I don't know. Maybe you are, this is just a really dumb example. It could literally be anything. Okay. But it's likely something around your physical wellness, a project, something in regards to your finances or work. Okay. So it looks like it's something in regards to that, but it can feel a little chaotic. So this can be something like, maybe you set out on some kind of personal gym goal or fitness goal and you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really seeing any progress, whatever. And then like you end up watching some kind of fitness creator creator online, and this person ends up teaching you how to do something, and then that makes you more motivated, and then you start seeing results, and then you get even more motivated. Okay, so whether it's like a fitness thing, or whether it's a project, like something is making you motivated, you seem to be finally having some kind of balance or peace in your life. Okay, so maybe you end up having to drop something in order to create something else, or whatever it is. So it seems like there's some kind of level of peace here after a time of like chaos and inconsistency, most likely, or the perception of failure. Okay. Damn, you got the Knight of Pentacles again in a different deck. That's really interesting. So I'm kind of wondering if you feel like something needs to happen faster than it actually can. I feel like there's something that's going to happen here for you, but it's kind of asking you to be patient, is what I'm getting from that. Don't do more. Sometimes doing more isn't always the best thing. Sometimes overcompensating isn't really going to compensate really for anything. Sometimes biting off more than you can chew is really you just cutting yourself off at the knees and kind of fucking yourself when you're trying to have some kind of progress. So I feel like this is kind of slow and steady wins the race for you, because you will win the race. You just have to have a little bit of patience. And I don't know what that's about, but it's telling you to be patient with something. You're very close to achieving your goal. I told you. House 7. Maybe it's in regards to some kind of relationship, or maybe somebody you're hiring. House 7 can be somebody that like you hire, a therapist, an astrologer, tarot reader, right? Whatever it is. But there may be maybe someone that you need in your life in order to help you achieve your goal in some way or another. So maybe you feel like you needed to just do something all by yourself. It's like you don't, you really don't. So maybe it is that. That's really very telling that that Knight of Pentacles came out twice in a different deck, though. Thank you so much, number 7. It's always good to see you, baby. Okay, now I'm getting too hot. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Alrighty, great. All right, number 8. Okay. So, how he sees you as a person. Let's see. 6 Cups reversed. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay. The Devil reversed. So the 6 of Cups reversed with the Queen of Pentacles and the Devil reversed for just how he sees you in general, like as a person. He may feel like sometimes you can be a little immature, or it's just that he feels like maybe you hold a bit of a grudge towards him. Maybe you just have some grudges or some pent up frustration from the past. Maybe he feels like you focus on the past a lot. Whatever the case is, he does feel like you carry a little bit of baggage because of that, whether that's true or not. However, he does view you as somebody who either takes really good care of themselves, or who's financially responsible, or somebody who takes initiative in their life, somebody who takes responsibility, somebody who is even somewhat of a wife type with that Queen of Pentacles. And this is also somebody who feels like you're very well aware of your blind spots, or of your addictions, or your shortcomings, or your the toxic behaviors. We all have them, or your red flags, right? We all have them. So whatever it is, I mean, it's not a bad energy. Tell me what that devil is. The Ace of Wands reverse. Mm, if you're like a procrastinator, or if you're somebody that kind of lacks motivation sometimes, or lacks passion, or maybe just put things off sometimes, or maybe don't always get so motivated, maybe. It can sometimes be about infidelity, but I don't think that's it. So this person may feel like you're very well aware of that, or this person may also feel like you're very well aware of that in others, like you take notice of that in others. Okay, so the devil reverse is a good sign. It's that somebody is aware. The Fool reverse and the Hierophant. Okay. So once again, I feel like this person feels as though you're a wife type, or even a mentor in some way, shape, or form. Not that you necessarily have mentor written on your resume, but like my children have been my mentors. Okay, they have taught me so much that I really just did not expect to learn from them, you know? So anybody really can, even a freaking animal, you know, can teach you so much. So this person may feel like you are that, but at the same time, they may feel like while you are a wife type, or while sometimes you can be very stable or intelligent, or you have strong values, maybe they feel at the same time like maybe you don't trust easy, or that you can tend to be a little bit impulsive. I like this question though. I don't think I've ever had anybody ask me this. So as far as like seeing you as a woman, 5 of Pentacles reversed, 2 of Pentacles. I feel like they look at you like a woman that can handle almost anything, you know, even when life is a little chaotic. I think that they believe that you're quite forgiving, or you can be quite forgiving and welcoming, even though maybe you've blocked people before, or, you know, maybe you have self worth or self value issues, they believe, or maybe you've been abandoned in your life and you've made something out of yourself, or maybe you've dealt with some trials and tribulations that were incredibly uncomfortable, but you still handled it, you know. Um, they may feel like sometimes, though, you have a lack of confidence, you know, or some, what is that, strength reversed, or why is it there? What is it? The star reversed, because you're unhealed about certain things in your life. You know, maybe it's a feminine wound, maybe it's a father wound, who knows? But I think that they may sometimes feel like you don't really share these things, like whatever these perceived weaknesses are, or maybe ego pride, or something like that. But it's like it's like interesting, because I feel like this person looks at you with a lot of the things that you've dealt with, and they kind of feel like you can handle anything. Doesn't mean you should, though, right? There's, once again, there's that wand reversed energy, because we were seeing that with the Ace of Wands reverse. So there's something about maybe a lack of confidence again, or not feeling motivated, or putting things off, or procrastinating sometimes, or staying in your comfort zone out of fear, you know, for some reason. And I feel like they just believe it comes from an unhealed place. But I also think that this is somebody who perceives you as very motherfucker, sorry. Interesting. Your advice is a time to give rather than take, and then Sagittarius. Okay. Well, a time to give. Okay. So maybe there's more that you need to give. I don't know. And maybe that's in regards to a Sagittarius in your life, or maybe that's in regards to Sagittarius themed things. A time to give into your more optimistic frame of mind. A time to give to just kind of going with the flow. A time to give into your higher philosophy, or your higher mind, or adventure, you know, being open to adventure and freeing yourself from things that take from you or that don't benefit you. So I feel like it's about being more malleable with that Sagittarius energy, and kind of going with the flow, as opposed to like a little rigid or staying stuck in one place. So I feel like this is a time where you need to kind of free yourself up and be optimistic, go with the flow kind of vibe. Thank you so much, number 8. It's always good to see you. I appreciate you so much. Okay. So number 9. So his thoughts about you. So it's either that he feels like you're a little guarded for some reason, or it's that he feels as though he needs to put up a little bit of a wall between you and him. Now, this is just a 2 card read, 1 card for each question. So it's kind of hard for me to understand why, but there does seem to be a thought about being guarded, or needing to be guarded, or that you are guarded. Is he involved? 4 cups reversed. Hmm. It's hard for me to say off of that 1 card. It can be that he went through a very disappointing situation that he's kind of coming out of. Now, the Four of Cups reverse can be where we're starting to have a bit more gratitude for our situation, or we're kind of coming out of that woe is me energy. We're coming out of some kind of rejection, but it's not really telling me if he's actually involved. I would say, I don't think so. The Four of Cups reversed. I don't think so. I think he's just coming out of this kind of like maybe immature or ungrateful kind of energy for some reason, but I'm not seeing him actually being involved with somebody per se. Oh, thank you, number 9. We have number 10. Should I stay with my current job or continue with the interview process for this job? Show me what happens if he stays with the current job. King of Wands, Four of Swords reversed. Okay. What about continue with the interview process for the new job? Temperance, the Lovers reversed. It's kind of hard to say, honestly. It's a bit of a toss up. Mm, so let me just explain. Okay, so with the current job, this one could end up being, believe it or not, maybe a little bit less stressful than the new one, or it could just be that maybe something that you have been trying to resolve with this job for a long time finally gets resolved in one way or another. That King of Wands tells me that you could eventually reach a leadership position, or maybe more of a leadership position, or you could find yourself being the leader of like a project or something like that. So there may be room for growth with that King of Wands. Now, with the new interview process or whatever, or if you should continue, this is what would happen if you were to. The Temperance is a great card for this because it represents peace, it represents modality, it represents balance, it represents like, oh, okay, I can fucking handle this. You know what I mean? But the Lovers reverse, it may be that you feel like you don't really connect with the job, or you may end up feeling like the scapegoat for somebody else's bad behavior or bad work ethic, or you may feel like it doesn't really align with who you are, although it's kind of maybe easy to manage. So, should he stick with the first one? Yes or no? I would I hate to tell you to stick with the old one cuz I don't really know your situation, but I would say from what I'm getting from the tarot, it says to stay with your current job, okay? But you know what's best for you. Listen to your own intuition. I could be totally wrong, of course, but that the Queen of Cups is a yes to me, okay? Thank you so much, number 10. Number 11. Last one. Okay, gotcha. Okay. No, I absolutely agree, number 11. But unfortunately, because he's likely low vibrational, that would be the thing that would work. So I don't agree with that either. Please understand, I'm not condoning that. But because he is probably low vibrational, that is what would work on him. So let's see how he views you now. He thinks that you're stuck. Eight of Swords, Page of Cups reversed. He thinks that you're stuck on him. He may feel like you're not really sure whether or not you should be vulnerable. He may even feel like sometimes you're a bit naive, or he may think that you're stuck in a victim mindset. Whether that's true or not, this is just what he thinks. So this is how he views you. So the Eight of Swords can be where we're kind of stuck in our own kind of like self-imposed prison. And Page of Cups reversed, it can be like a victim mindset, or it can be a naivete kind of vibe. Naivete. So, not my favorite. you know. Thank you, number 11. I love you. Number 12. What do I do? Okay, let me see. I feel like you need to be seen. I feel like you need to fight for something that you're proud of. Six of Wands, the Three of Pentacles. And I'm not really sure why that is, but if the 6 of Wands is what you need to do, well, the 5 of Wands comes before the 6 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands can sometimes talk about conflict. Yes, it can talk about inner conflict that you're needing to battle, inner conflict that you're needing to resolve within yourself. It can also represent, needing to be seen, needing to put yourself out there despite what other people think. And I'm not sure why that is, but I feel like there's some level of success that you're needing to achieve, and maybe that will somehow increase your level of confidence, because maybe it is a confidence issue. I don't know. Right. And this is Leo energy. Leo is about self-expression and confidence in these things. And taking the lead in groups and being a leader. And so I think that you're needing to achieve some level, some kind of accomplishment in order to gain that confidence. And maybe it's that you're just, putting yourself in the front of the line when it comes to group projects and collaborations and helping people work as a team, but there's something about working together with other people or teaching other people or learning from other people as well. So I really think it's a confidence thing. I really do. I think it's a confidence thing, because confidence can help us achieve so much, including love. Thank you, number 12. What's up, number 13? Okay, let's see what's coming for you this week. The 8 of Wands reverse and the Ace of Pentacles. What is that 8 of Wands reversed? The World reversed. Okay. You may feel like something's kind of hanging up in the air. You're kind of like, hello, you may be waiting for a response from work, or you may be waiting for a response from a person or an ex or something like that. It's some kind of unfinished business, and you're trying to get to a level of completion. But I feel like there is some kind of opportunity here. So something may be delayed for a while, but I don't think it's totally canceled out. Tell me about that Ace of Pentacles. The Page of Swords reversed. Don't assume that you aren't going to achieve something or get something just because it's delayed. I think that everything comes in due time and essentially when we're ready for it. So I want to pull an extra one for you because I love you. But that seven of Pentacles here, I wanted to ask for a little bit of advice. So I feel like don't put all of your eggs in one basket. I feel like don't be afraid to put your hand in a few cookie jars, kind of, dibble and dabble. And if you're already doing that, great, continue to do that. But continue to stay invested in maybe a few things is kind of what I'm getting from that. And just because something isn't happening now doesn't mean it's never going to. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, I got lockjaw. Holy shit. That TMJ is fierce. But I love you guys. A special shout out to, of course, all of you. Thank you so much for trusting me with your questions. It means the world to me. And thank you guys for just showing up. And I love you. And thank you. And obviously, a very special shout out to Lori for always doing the timestamps, because I definitely don't want to fucking do them. So shout out to my favorite Virgo. And then shout out to Complexity as well. And shout out to Kinez. I really appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to you, of course, Mojo. Everybody, make sure you go subscribe to Mojo. I love him. And I hope that you guys have a great evening. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.